Alright, everyone. We're back here in my vanilla vintage story. We're gonna continue working on the greenhouse, which does mean that this stream is technically going to be going out and live before the streamer actually started working on the greenhouse, so this is going to be slightly out of order on things, but that'll be alright. It's not going to be too many spoilers between here and there. I mean, granted, the primary thing was the building of the greenhouse, but that one will give more details on how we built the greenhouse. This is going to be more just finishing it up and working on some things, getting our greenhouse productive. Hey, Gabriel, how's it going? You having a good day over there? Alright, now let's see here. Remember what I left off doing? Right, I need to get ready to go mining. That's what I left off doing. Actually, I'm going to make some adjustments to the greenhouse like I was thinking about before I go off to go mining. Alright. That's the project I was working on. There's a video that's going to hit my channel detailing how I was building this greenhouse. I think it's tomorrow or the day after, but I wanted to come in here and break out some of this glass. Because I realized I want to change how I'm going to do the roof a little bit. There we go. Cool. Yeah, I'm having a pretty good day, too. Still feeling a bit under the weather, but it's alright. You know? This flu shot I got is just, like, really put me down for the past, like, 4 days now. There we go. I don't know. That would be a good start right there. Cool. There we go. Now I can go on and continue the project I was going to go continue, which is I need to go mine more quartz. Alright. Actually, this door would be better for getting my pickaxe. Yeah, see your pickaxe. I've got my lamp. I don't need that. I should get some food, though.
Daddy?
Yes, son?
Are you trying to get into the Bronze Age or the Iron Age?
I'm in the Iron Age, but yeah, I hope I recover pretty quickly as well. I mean, I imagine I'll probably have to go into the office tomorrow and go to work, Gabriel. Because, you know, I can't just stay out of work too long. Thankfully, I have PTO and stuff.
What's PTO?
Well, to answer your question, PTO is paid time off.
Oh. What's that mean?
That means that I have paid time off from work, man.
So it means you get to pay time off work?
Yeah. Gabriel says hi, what?
Oh, hi, Gabriel.
He says hello back to you. In case you didn't hear him, but I think you can. I think Mike's picking him up. So besides finishing up my greenhouse, the other thing that finally happened, which is my chickens had more chickens. So now I've got to work on this because my design to filter out the chickens did not work. So I'm going to have to, I think, make these boards even thinner down there. So that'll be another project we'll work on today while we're streaming.
Oh, I just one-shotted that guy.
You one-shotted a guy in your game over there, bud?
I one-shotted the tail lower a pod.
Okay. Yeah, my son's over there playing a game called Imperial Galactic Survival, in case you're familiar with it. Something that he and I play together occasionally.
Well, we used to play it a lot.
Yeah, we did used to play it a lot, but actually, let me go ahead and put this down here. Make that easier. There we go. I never heard of it. It's a space-based survival game. It's got a story. They actually released a fairly recent update for it, probably about right about a month ago, I think. It was the first update they've like released for it in years.
Surviving on a planet.
Yes, it is about surviving on a planet, but it's more than just that. There's space exploration and trading and all that. But the concept is humanity's basically developed faster than light travel, and during their first experimentation with it, like their first major experimentation, they ended up, instead of just crossing to the outer edge of the solar system, jumping all the way into the Andromeda Galaxy from the Milky Way. And you're part of that expedition, and you got basically separated off from the human expedition fleet due to some sort of disaster, and then due to some sort of time dilation, you basically ended up arriving a year after everybody else, and you're spending your time trying to catch back up with the fleet and figure out what's going on and figure out how it happened and all that stuff. That's basically the whole gist of the game. Now, somewhere in here is my quartz mine. Where is my quartz mine?
Well, I see Zurich territory. I would love to explore it.
But from there, it's all about crafting and building and surviving. Is my quartz mine over here? Yes, here we go. Alright. Oh, I can hear them. I can hear our unfriendly neighbors. Yeah, it's kind of a cool game. I may add some of it to my channel at some point, because I do really enjoy Empyrean Galactic Survival.
May I be in the videos with you in it?
Yeah, but if I start streaming Empyrean, man, you can join me.
Yay.
My son likes Empyrean a lot. Now, when I play Empyrean, I tend to play with a mod pack called Reforged Eden that just really expands upon the game nicely. It adds several features that the developers really should probably try to add to the core gameplay of it. But the developers, surprisingly, have decided to start adding more to the game in recent time. Oh yeah, Starflight. Yeah, I never actually played Starflight. David. Alright. GOG has it? I'll have to check that out. Okay, that is just andesite up there. Alright. I have to be careful in quarrying my quartz here in this little area, because there is a cave that, like, if you look down this way, where I've been cutting out chunks here. There's a cave over here with some drifters and stuff in it. But for people who are curious, we're mining a bunch of quartz because I need it to make glass to finish my greenhouse. We're also keeping an eye out for things like, you know, silver and gold, because you find that in quartz veins like this. Not that I've seen any. This has been a particularly poor quartz vein of just quartz. You can find diamonds, actually, in this. They don't have a practical use beyond being trade material for selling to traders and merchants.
Maybe they will have an update with like tools out there.
To answer your question, Gabriel, the maximum size for a greenhouse is a 14 by 14 cube, technically. On internal space, like you can have it, you know, internally be 14 by 14. Mine's not going to be that big. Mine's coming out to about, I think, 12 by 11 internally. Ooh, see, and there's that cave I was talking about. Right there.
Is it deep?
It's a big cave, son.
Probably a whole bunch of drifts.
Yeah, there's drifters and stuff in here. Yeah, I can hear one right now, actually. Actually, that's a boat horn I hear.
Which ones works the drift?
Yeah, no, it's like 14 by 14 cube. So 14 across on the inside, 14 deep, and 14 high. So yeah, so... Oh, right, hello.
Which ones works a drifter or a boat?
Ouch. Depends on what you're dealing with. Alright, now let's see if I can get away from this other one. Yeah, I had to look it up the other day when I was making this thing and laying it out. That's part of the reason I know. Alright, so let me get back up here. Because, well, actually, you know what? I want this quartz. I'll fight that Botorn for it. Because I need the quartz. But yeah, so my build is actually based on a design I saw someone talking about on the subreddit, and I'm testing out their design, which is basically you build it in a V shape, so that you have this kind of V of farmland, and behind each layer of farmland you have basically a little stream of water that you've put in there and kind of buried under the layer above it. That way all of your farmland stays watered without you having to go in there and water it while still being in a greenhouse, basically giving you the maximum potential usable space in your greenhouse. So I'm testing this concept with my design. This is my attempt to reproduce what they were talking about. I'm gonna have to make another pickaxe soon at this rate. Okay, once I get these mined out, run over there. And get back behind my little wall of stuff. Oh. Nope, go away, Deep Drifter. Ow. You stop that. Alright, it's time to get out of this cave. Yeah, so it depends on the crops, because basically what the greenhouse does, effectively, is it gives you plus 5 degrees compared to the outside temperature. So, if the crop can survive the outside temperature plus 5 degrees up, then yeah, you can grow in the middle of winter. Like, for example, it's so cold out in the game right now that even my rye can't grow, and rye's got a really, really, good cold resistance. But, for example, I could put rye in my greenhouse and it would be fine.
Is rye valuable?
Rye is a grain, son.
Are grains valuable?
In the middle of winter. But it also means, Gabriel, that you can do things like... So, for example, we're in a very temperate zone where I'm at in the game. But it means I could grow things like tropical crops here in the summer. So, like, if I had pineapple or something like that, I could grow pineapples. But it also means, like, during the summer, I don't want to grow my cold-tolerant plants in there. I want to grow my heat-tolerant plants in there. Because, again, that plus 5 temperature is at all times, compared to whatever the outside temperature is. So it's an interesting mechanic, but it means you also have to be careful with paying more attention to your temperature tolerances on your crops. But I'm doing it because where I'm at, there are crops I could probably grow year-round in there. Like, for example, I could probably grow flax year-round in my greenhouse. Because it'll keep it warm enough during the winter to keep my flax alive, and flax is a much higher heat tolerance. I always wanted to... because I always wanted to... Okay. Okay. I think I get what you're saying. Well, there we go. Now let's get out of here, because I think I've got enough of that. Go. Yep. You can stay over there. Which one? Yeah, I'm kind of thinking for my next playthrough that I'm gonna do some sort of challenge, and I haven't decided what that challenge is gonna be yet.
Yay! I found a village.
You found a village, bud? Nice.
Now I'm gonna trade with them.
Cool, man. My son just found a little town in Imperium that he's gonna go try and do some trading with. Block of dirt there. And if you're wondering why I'm putting little random dirt blocks around, I'm using them as basically kind of like a poor man's support beam. Because, so for example, this has a 23% chance to collapse, and this one has like a 23 or 16% chance. But if we put like a dirt block here, it eliminates the chance of that collapsing. So. Yeah, if you got any ideas for good challenges I should try after I finish this vanilla playthrough, like, let me know, because I've been kind of thinking about it, and I'm not sure... That's got a 50% chance of collapsing there. I'm not sure what I want to do for my next run yet. I mean, obviously.
I didn't find the village, but I found a marker. So, like, I see a village on mark.
Okay, bud. I have not done a wilderness survival yet. I've been looking at it. I've been thinking about it. Because I've been watching some other people do them. And I kind of want to do a Homo sapiens run as well. You know, where there's no story elements, none of that. You just are doing stuff. You want to see me do a one life winter only run? Yeah, you know what? I'll do it. Sure. We can try that for the next one. There you go. One life, winter only, wilderness survival.
So basically, it took forever winter.
Yeah, but forever winter. That was my son asking. Yeah, we could try that. No, you know, I would not be opposed to that. And to be fair, I did watch. I can see where Homo sapiens could get very boring with not a lot to do. And you're not wrong. Drifters are like 90% of the underground challenges. I would definitely play a much more heavily modded playthrough for my next world to add more challenges and things to do, basically, and to work on. It's one of the things I would definitely do. But since someone was talking about doing the, since I think it was Gabriel earlier mentioning doing the whole Eternal Winter thing, Gabriel, I take it you've watched, have you seen Hardware's Despair's Frozen Earth playthrough? Yeah, I watched it as well, and so I kind of wanted to give it a try after seeing him attempt to do it. There we go. Let's see here. How much quartz do I have? Yeah. That should be more than enough to get the rest of the glass I need, but I'm going to get a little bit more. Like, one of the mods I'm thinking about running in my next kind of modded playthrough. Yeah, so one of the things that Hardware Despair did in his Frozen World run, Keith, is he allowed underground farming, and he also added some mods that add like more plants, some of which are a little more winterized. Like I think he had some winterized berry types that he could find. I think it was like lingonberries, if I remember correctly, was one of them. Crowberries. It was very interesting. It definitely had some extra tree types as well. Let's see here. So that's clear quartz. Maybe not these out here. Those are higher up. Let me change what I'm doing on my approach to this. Yeah, and that's one of the things he was experimenting with underground farming, was, you know, trying to make sure he had enough warmth down there to grow the different things he needed. And one of the huge problems he ran into is it was too cold for oak trees to grow in his world. And one of the mods he was running was Primitive Survival, which I probably run because I've started playing with Primitive Survival on some of my runs, some of my modded playthroughs, and I like Primitive Survival. It's a good little set of mods. But one of the things it adds are basically like little tree hollows that are used by raccoons to store things and stuff, and you can find seeds in them. And he found an oak tree seed that he was trying to grow underground. And he had various difficulties doing so. Yeah, so one of the things he did to try and get the heat from underground is he actually went and found a lava flow that he mined next to get a heat source for his underground farming.
Wait, I see the village.
But he actually ran into problems with that, which is the lava doesn't actually increase the heat, but it will set your crops on fire. So apparently just the deeper down you go, the more heat you get, is actually kind of mechanically how it works. I'm gonna seal that off just so I don't get drifters wandering in here. So, it was a very interesting thing to watch him do as he attempted that challenge.
I see a trader. Let's see what you got.
Yeah, you can get... Yeah. See, that's exactly right, Keith. Like, when you get down near the mantle, you can get a lot more heat that way. I've not experimented with it, though, personally. Alright, that's... I'm going to drop in another support beam right there real quick. Let's knock this one out. Okay, good. Then it collapsed. There we go. Alright. That should definitely be enough quartz to get me enough glass for what I need. I just gotta remember how to get out of my mine hole here. I will be making refractory bricks eventually, but right now it's for glass for my greenhouse that I'm working on. Because I am actually at the point where I could start thinking about steel. I would need to make a pulverizer and some other things before I can actually do that. And I'd also want to go ahead and get a halve hammer set up first as well. That's actually something I can work on in the stream once I finish the greenhouse, assuming my greenhouse experiment works. Is work on making an iron anvil. Need to go get some borax for that, though. Thankfully, I know where there is some borax. Yeah, I've done some experimenting with the half slabs. But I'm just using the whole blocks just so I don't have to worry too much about the air tightness and all that. Alright. One thing that's nice about this winter time is just being able to walk across that lake there without having to, like, go around like I normally would. Also, here's a question for you all, since you all seem to have some experience with the game. I've noticed my the temporal activity has been a lot less during winter. It's been, like, calm the entire time of, like, January and December and all that. Yes, yes, they do. It would be tempting to move my bees into the greenhouse if I had space for it. I might do another greenhouse just for the bees, though, at some point. Go ahead and get that lamp out of my hand here. Just throw that right there for now. Alright, time to get the bloomery set up. See if we can't get what... Yeah, I should be able to easily get 4 going here. There we go. Yeah, I've noticed it's been getting down into the negatives about... Oh, let's see here. Negative, I think 16 or 18 is the highest I've seen on this particular location my character's at. Oh yeah, no, Vintage Story is great.
I'm selling so much stuff and getting so much credit.
Okay, so really not temporal stability at all, I don't think. Huh, interesting. Needs some block to spawn. But there isn't a black... Okay, that's interesting theories on that temporal stability. The main reason I was asking is just because it seems like I've just been getting, you know, a calm rating on my temporal stability the entire time. That's why I was curious. Or temporal activity, whatever you want to call it. There we go. Alright, go get my charcoal. Ah, yes, you and your temporal shenanigans over there. With your sahag and stuff. There we go. There we go. Beautiful. Oh, yeah. No, I love vintage story streams, which is actually why I started doing them. And welcome to the stream, folks. Alright. Let's see here. Go put these down for now. I could do one more, but I think that's going to be more than enough glass to finish up my project. I think. But then I also tend to underestimate things. So. Actually, what I should do is get another bloomery of iron going, I think. Current game plan is I'm working on finishing up my my greenhouse. I'm trying a new design I saw someone discussing on the Reddit. Let me get my let me go get my lamp so we can actually see said greenhouse. There we go. But basically, someone on the Reddit was discussing a V-shaped design, where basically you put in your bottom layer of soil here, and then you put water basically underneath the next layer of soil, and kind of work your way up in a V shape, repeating that pattern, so that all of your farm soil will stay watered without you ever having to do anything. So that's what I'm working on right now, and I'm getting enough glass to finish roofing it in. That's my big problem. I'm gonna have to break that glass block out so I can actually get up there. Anyways, that's what I'm working on. Oh yeah, chickens. Yeah, I've got a chicken coop as well. So, talking about chiseling and chickens, let me show you, because I tried an experiment, which I'm going to have to do some more testing on. Which is over here. Because that's something else I read about on the Reddit, but I've not gotten it quite right. And the idea is basically you chisel this out, and when the chicks hatch, they fall down and will climb up the stairs over to this side over here. Unfortunately, it looks like my gaps are not wide enough for that to work, so I'm going to have to experiment with that some. So, since I saw y'all talking about chicken coops and chiseling. Look at my pigs. How are my pigs doing? It's good. Okay, come here. Are you ready for mating yet? Ah, good. I can actually start breeding pigs now. Yeah, it was a really cool idea I saw on the Reddit, so I'm going to have to work on it, because I think I just didn't make my gaps big enough for the chicks to fall through. Alright. Go make that last bloomery I just thought about a second ago. Because I do want to get some more iron going. This is all vanilla. This is my vanilla playthrough. I decided to do a vanilla playthrough just to play through the entire story, vanilla, and that was not what I wanted. You know what? It's fine. I can stay there. I just put my bricks over here. Because I've never done a full vanilla playthrough. Now, I do have a game that I play with my son occasionally. I moved all my words out here. That's heavily modded. Actually, right before the stream started, I updated to 1.2, 1.5. I saw the update. I was just like, you know what? I'll do it. Why not? And ran the update. Alright. Grab that. And grab my charcoal. Call out the inside of each block. Okay. It works. Also works best for pigs. Huh. Okay. Good to know. And I feel you on that whole expanded foods, and the prospecting can be... The prospecting is quite a learning curve. You know, that's... No, I'm not going to argue that one. It took me a while to figure out the prospecting, too. That's good advice on that hollowing out the block there, Keith. I'll have to take that. Luna, welcome. All right, let me go put this iron ore away here. I'm doing all right, hanging in there. I've been kind of under the weather the past few days after getting a flu shot. I've never reacted poorly to a flu shot before in my life. First time ever. It's set me down. There we go. Alright, let me put this prepared hide away. Yeah, I'll do these as well. Go ahead and prepare those up. Oh yeah, I love Vintage Story. Vintage Story is fantastic. So don't make the bottom space too deep. Found that out the hard way. Oh, so does it need to only be like one space down on the bottom then? Keith? Let's see here. Alright. Trying to decide what I should work on next, so I'll wait for those bloomeries to finish here. Actually, you know what? Since we're talking about the chickens, we'll go do that. Okay. You can't prospect, so they sent you out with a raft. I mean, to be fair, that's kind of how you get your first bit of copper anyways, is you just go look for copper nuggets on the surface to find those near to the surface copper veins. And nope, that's my good hammer. There's my used hammer. And we'll put that over there. And let's go fix up our chicken coop here. Alright. Up to 3 should be good. Okay, so as long as I, you know... Yeah, as I said, it's weird. Even my wife can attest to, like, I've never reacted this way to a flu shot before. Oh yeah. So when I did my run to the archives in this one, I did it here in the middle of winter, like 2 or 3 episodes ago. And it was eating all the cattail roots I could find, just because I didn't take enough food. Alright, so let's see here. Let's take it down to this. And so what I'm going to do is we're just going to knock these out. What first drew you into playing Vintage Story instead of Minecraft? So actually, I used to play Minecraft because I've had Minecraft forever. I bought Minecraft back when it was only $9 in the distant years of 2009 or whatever it was. I think can't even remember exactly what year it was. And then I just found Vintage Story because of. I found Vintage Story because a friend of mine who's got a gaming community he's a member of was telling me about it, and he and I used to play Eco together, which is another voxel game similar to this. And basically, he was like, "You would probably love Vintage Story. It's got all the survival crafting you love, with the voxelness of like Minecraft." Frying some French fries right now, nice. And so I was like, "Okay, I'll check it out." And I checked it out. Found a few people playing it on YouTube, and I've become kind of obsessed with it. Because, one, it's got all the survival aspects I like, so I play a lot of survival games. And it's got, like, the crafting and building of Minecraft, but it also lets me, like, more easily mod. Like, Minecraft, I just struggle with modding Minecraft, but Vintage Story has just got the built-in modder, makes life so much easier. My biggest problem when I first started playing was not planning well enough for winter. I didn't do very good at figuring out how much food I would need. My first few winters were very, very lean in the game. But now that's not a problem. I almost basically get everything sorted out really quick as far as food goes. Yeah, no. Vintage Story is definitely very addictive, Gabriel. Like, don't get me wrong. I like Minecraft. It's a great game, and it certainly set like the precedent for a whole lot of games. You know, kind of created like a whole like gaming environment and stuff. And my kid loves Minecraft. I play Minecraft with my kid sometimes. Feed my character before he starts complaining about starving here. And I still have it. I still play it. Yeah, no, I just realized I was about to start starving to death, so I stopped to take a little break to eat there. Well, I think that's how we all kind of find it. It's like a friend mentions us, like, I'm going to play this game. You should come play it too. There we go. Alright. We're going to see if this works here. I don't stream daily. I stream on the weekends, Saturdays and Sundays, usually. Although I've been missing a few weekends here and there due to a family thing we've got going on. So I've been having to miss about every other weekend currently. Now, I should be around for the next few weekends, though. I do try to drop a recorded video daily. It's not always Vintage Story. 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, because that's my current location. So I've only been streaming for about 36 minutes, and that's about the time I usually start on the weekends, both Saturday and Sunday. Occasionally I'll throw in a morning stream my time, so a little earlier. And I sometimes stream Vintage Story with my kid, because we have a shared game we play together, which is heavily modded compared to this. This is vanilla. Oh, you have the opposite problem there, Keith? Where am I from? I'm from the Southeast United States. And I figured out that that even confuses other North Americans, because I talk about plants that apparently don't exist in the rest of the United States. They're apparently only native to the part that I'm from. Like one of my guys, a guy named Army Bacon. Yeah, go ahead. What? No? You still there? Feel free to ask your question. Alright, Gabriel, you have a great day too, man. I see. Digital artist. Okay. Well, I appreciate the offer, but I'm pretty good right now, Luna. Thank you. Ah, so you live north of me, also in the eastern United States. Yeah, it sucks when people get busy and the servers shut down. I've actually been thinking about setting up a Vintage Story server for my community once I get enough people in the community to actually, like, support one. Because right now, it's me and David, basically. There's a guy named Army Bacon that hangs out with us, too, occasionally, but he's never really expressed a whole bunch of interest in Vintage Story. Because I would love to run a multiplayer Vintage Story server. Especially if I could get some of my, like, other gaming friends and all to join. You be down for some Vintage Story gameplay? Well, heck, join my Discord. It's got a free invite on my channel. There you go. I appreciate the offer there, Luna. No, I definitely agree about the world settings. Need some tweaking since they added the sailboat. As I found out, so if anyone's been following my channel for a little bit here, they'll see that I've got a series called Gaming with the Kiddo, which is mostly about Vintage Story, because that's mostly what we play together. And on our first world, I ended up creating a world with basically a single island and could not find more land. And the island was so small, we didn't have enough food or anything for us.
Because that time, we were on a planet. We were on an island. We were trying to get to another island, but the ocean was huge, and my dad had to fix the world.
Yep, I did. I have to recreate the world. But yeah, Luna. So you're a digital artist that helps streamers. That's really cool. The main thing is I'm not looking for this kind of services right now. Mostly because I can't justify it. Like, my YouTube channel does not make any money right now. I mean, okay, technically, I make $4 a month from my Patreon. There you go, people. That's how much I make. $4 a month. USD. So, yeah, I can't really justify putting too much money into paying for artists and editors and things like that. I'm just kind of doing it myself. Figuring it all out. But anywho, right now I'm just here to chill and work on my winter workshop stuff here that I'm trying to do. Get my greenhouse going, make these tweaks to my chicken coop, and just hang out with my chat. There we go. Alright. I might have to redo this based on what Keith suggested here in a bit. The sailboat's actually really cool. I've got one for this server. Or not server, but this playthrough. I did make one. Which really hindered my ability to get a windmill going. That was all the sails I could manage for my windmill after using all of my flax, basically, to make a sailboat. Which is just over here. I'll go show you my sailboat. Because I still have to finish offloading it anyways. Because I used it to go up to the Resonance Archives a few episodes back on my vanilla playthrough series. Because that's way up here in the north, and so I sailed up there. So I sailed from... Because I keep my sailboat next to this little trader over here. So I sailed all the way up here just to get to the archives, which that was a whole adventure. And I'll probably go back up there again, just because there's a lot of malachite up there. And while I don't really need a ton of copper, I like the look of the malachite. It's just really pretty color, and I might want some for a display case or something. But, oh man, my character is just burning through calories right now. Probably because I've got this hammer in my offhand. I just realized that. Do that. There we go. A body of water big enough to justify a sailboat. Not when I need more windmills. That's a fair point there, Keith. Yeah, so I've kind of got mine. When I made this world, I tweaked the settings a little bit as far as ocean to landmass goes. And this is supposed to be about 70% land, 30% ocean, give or take. But that was also back in 1.211, I think, when I created this world. Maybe it's 1.2, 1.0. I'm not sure. I have to check. But there's been a few updates that have really changed things, like changed how the sailboats work and all that. So this is my little sailboat, which, as you can still see, I've got a whole bunch of junk in here. I looted from the archives, which I need to offload somewhere. Make all these books. Welcome back, General Efficiency. There we go. We were just talking about sailboats, so I came over here to my sailboat. Yeah, I feel that, Keith. Alright, I'll go ahead and grab this, take this back to base with me as well. There we go. Yeah, so when I do my next world after I finish kind of this playthrough, obviously I'm going to do more mods. And I'm also going to adjust my world settings a bit. Oof, that sounds worse than what I did when I was trying to play with my kid there, General Efficiency. Because we had an island, but it was like, you know, probably, 100 blocks across, at least, in each direction for us to work with, and then nothing but water. It would be a wild survival series to survive on a one-block island. Like, I'm not even sure how you'd do that. Oh yeah, spawn in one acorn. You could do that. Give yourself, like... Oh man, you could give yourself some interesting starting materials just to try and make it work. Or if you had, like, some way where you could, like, dredge up dirt from the bottom of the ocean and turn it into dirt instead of just, like, that muddy gravel stuff. That could be interesting. See, that sounds like a challenge that we should figure out how to implement. It does. It does require a lot of exploration. I've also thought about doing kind of a nomad challenge in the near future. Let me show you something crazy, guys. I have no idea how, but these crops right here, like the last crops I planted, have somehow survived almost the entire winter. Just hanging out here. Like, I don't know how they've pulled this off. I'm just breaking the ice to keep them watered a little bit here. Alright, let's see here. Let's go put my hammer and chisel away. And hammer up there, chisel goes right there. Oh good, my glass is ready. Perfect. Put these in here. Doesn't die during winter, they sleep. Okay, so basically, just like I thought earlier, they're not actually growing, they're just sitting there. Because I noticed they haven't, like, finished growing or anything. Can I put books on top of this, or is this only, like, one layer? Nope. Okay. Nope. So I have to make a scroll case for that. You know, yeah, as someone who's eaten a lot of turnips over the years, being from the South, I'm not sure that I just want to bite into a raw turnip. Just personally. But we do in Vintage Story a whole bunch. Let's see here. What's my scroll rack cost? Oh, I need some nails for the scroll rack. Do I have any nails left? I think I'm out of nails. Sadness. Alright, well, I'll just put these scrolls in here for now. And also put my rusty gears in here. This back down here, put that in there. Then let's put this down here. I'll leave this one. Put the quartz in there for now. Put the rest of my quartz over here. Oh god, seeing those temporal gears in the chest makes my skin itch. Oh, yeah, no. Oh, man. Like, I would desperately love to be able to stack them. Just something. I feel you about those temporal gears being the way they are. How do you feel on the clutter shatter setting? I make it so I can just break it and pick it up. I've gone back and forth on that one. I like to use... I like to leave it kind of true to purpose here with the whole, you know, you have to use glue to fix it first thing. Just because, you know, again, trying to do a bit of a purist kind of as designed thing here. But I can also totally see your point, if that makes sense. Yeah, I like it needing repair as well, as much as, you know... I hate the fact that I'm never ready for it to be repaired. Don't mind me, I'm just going to pick up this almost still molting glass here. So that's one thing Vintage Story has really kind of taught me, is to not be a hoarder, which is actually really difficult for me in games like this. Because normally I am a hoarder in survival games of any sort. Just throw those bricks down right there. Right now, I'm just kind of also hoping that my tree cuttings don't die on me that I planted in the middle of winter. Alright, let's see here. Okay, I can go over here. Go. Go, put that there. Actually, we'll just go over here. Here we go. So what I'm going to do is just go across the top here. Beautiful. Found these neat fish flags on a ruin. Better ruins. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's all kinds of cool things you can find, especially in, like, better ruins and stuff. That's oh, didn't want to put that one there. That's a mod I haven't tried out yet, but I want to. I love the fact that it's just letting me put down, like, still, like, nearly molten glass. In the middle of winter. If you did this in real life, this would all shatter immediately. Because there's, like, this whole process to actually quenching glass in real life and, like, letting it cool. Go. Alright. Actually, yeah, okay. I can still get up over there. Perfect. Okay. Yep, time to go make more glass. I do like how it seems like the snow doesn't pile up too much on the pathways. Oh. My iron finished as well. Perfect. Recover those iron blooms and get myself some more bricks. Yeah, isn't shaved or leaded at all. It's just melted silica is funny. It is kind of humorous, if we're honest. There we go. Yeah, so, you know, I talk about the various crafts I've done over the years as I play these games. Like, you know, I'm actually a trained blacksmith in real life. Like, did that for a while as a job. My mother worked in doing glass work and stained glass work. So that's part of the reason I know some of that stuff. One shy. Dang. Unfortunate. Gonna have to make some more bricks, I think. Let's see here. Put these bloomeries away, because these blooms away, I'm not gonna actually, like, process those blooms. I was never a bladesmith, if that... You know, that's the first thing people always ask when you're like, yeah, I was a blacksmith for a while. They always ask, oh, did you make swords? The answer is no. I did not make swords. Yeah, no, we could absolutely make steel. So, even in the medieval era, it wasn't uncommon for blacksmiths to make steel. Like, that definitely happened.
Daddy, how do you warp?
Son, you have to put a warp drive on your ship, and then you have to press K. Once you get it lined up and locked onto a place you want to go to.
Okay.
Sorry, my kid was asking me a question about Imperial Galactic Survival.
How do I put the warp on it?
Do you have a warp engine, bud?
Does it tell me?
It should if you look at the devices there, bud. Yeah, not blister steel, but proper melted crucible steel. I mean, I would think you could be able to do it. So, the thing about steel, true metallurgical steel, in that sense, is that it is just iron with carbon trapped in it, effectively.
Do you have to press F1?
Son, once you've locked onto a place you want to warp to in the game, you have to press K, if I remember, to activate your warp drive, and have your ship pointed towards it. Right, I need to put coal in these. I almost forgot to put coal. So theoretically, anytime you actually make an iron bloom like this, you're also theoretically making some steel. And one of the things blacksmiths would do is, as they worked it back in the day, is they would basically cut those parts off, since they knew that that was harder metal, actually, and better for making blades, and save that separately. And then when they were making something that needed to hold an edge, like an axe head or a knife or a blade, they would take that pieces of steel that they had created and set them off to the side, and then use them later to inlay into the blade part of knives and axes and things. And basically weld them in there using forge welding. I've seen it done. I've never done it personally. Because one, I'm not good at forge welding. Like, I was trained as a smith, and I worked as a smith for many years, but if we were to go back into the apprentice era of, like, the medieval ages, I never really made it past, like, journeyman, as far as, like, actual, like, real-world skill goes. Oh, good, my leather's done. So, that's kind of my thought process on all that. Now, they wouldn't have been able to, like, tell you this is this grade of steel, like we can these days, where we can tell exactly how much carbon is trapped in the iron to tell you exactly what grade of steel it is. They wouldn't have been able to do that. They could... There was ways for them to test it and basically be like, yes, this is steel, you know, versus this is just wrought iron. So, things like that. Just keeping my leather production going here. So, they probably could have done it. Just, they didn't have necessarily the knowledge to do it properly. Does that make sense? Am I kind of getting my point across there? So, you know, we could take the same technology that we see in Vintage Story, and we could probably make it work. Oh. Yeah, I haven't actually looked at the purposeful storage mod. I have to look at it. Yes, son.
I need pentaperoxide.
Yeah, just you need pentaxide as fuel. Specifically, you need the refined pentaxide for your fuel in the game, bud.
Okay, we'll look for something peroxide.
Well, let's see here. Top off my character's food bar real quick. And...
Does it need raw material? No.
You need the refined, bud.
I have refined.
It has bucket pins that you can put on walls and hang buckets from it. Oh, that actually sounds really cool.
So where do I put it?
You put it in the pentaxide tank there, bud.
Where's the tank?
You have to put one on your ship, man. My son is learning the hard way that, you know, Imperial and Galactic survival requires you to have an understanding of how the building of ships mechanics work.
What do I have to put in mine?
You need a pentaxid tank to put your pentaxid fuel in there, bud. Yep. You go get some more grain. This is the other reason I want to get my greenhouse up and running, is so that I can keep my flax production going full time, so I can always have food for the animals. I don't know why I keep closing the door. I've not seen, like, a proper drifter spawn in a while. Here we go. And also the closed door has no effect on my cellar. So, you know, habits, I guess. Now, I can't wait to see what they do in the future with Vintage Story as far as, like, the technology goes and stuff. Like, I know we've got some metals that we don't have uses for, like, apparently titanium ore is a thing in the game and need it for making the refractory bricks, if I remember correctly, the high-tier ones. There we go. Alright, no, I have some grain. Okay. Okay. Are these fertile? These are fertile. Okay. Good chickens. Did y'all see about the stuff they're looking at for the next update, though? With adding rivers and potentially water wheels?
I can't find a pickaxe.
Sorry, bud. You just gotta look in it. Just type in Pentaxid. It's like right there at the top, dude.
Where?
To the right. That's not the right, bud.
Oh.
Good lord. My kid needs practice reading. Yeah, no, I definitely... my cellar is not 100% maximum. Like, I could absolutely do better. Like, for example, if I replace this with blocks instead of a door... Because normally I use, hay bales.
I can't put it down anymore.
Then it may already have one, bud. And you may just need to fill it up. And that would make it darker in here and blocking light. The other thing I could also do is pull out this dirt and replace all this dirt with cobblestone. And that would be slightly better as well as far as efficiency goes. But we're talking about, like, you know, a few percentage at that point. The natural light's more important. Do you think the temporal gears taste like the blue Scooby-Doo gummies? You know, I've heard worse theories. Alright, I forgot to put on my grain. I was in here.
No, can't fit there.
But yeah, redesigning my cellar is something that's kind of on the eventual list of things to do since that came up. Alright. Let's see here. What time is it? Yeah, it's still pretty late in the game. Yeah, we'll just put the character to bed and fast forward to morning.
Does it need to be red and yellow?
What are you talking about, bud?
The red and yellow boxes on the top of the item.
For your ship, yes.
Why can't I put...
You probably already have one. You just need to put Pentaxid in it, son.
Now where is it?
Just look at your ship and press P. Do you see the thing that says Pentaxid down there at the bottom? Over to the right. Look at the right. You gotta learn right from left, dude. Just hit fill all. There you go.
Is that fantastic?
Ah, yes. My young lad, he is 8 years old. And already playing games like Imperial Galactic Survival. So. That's my fault, though, because he sees me play games and he wants to play them.
Okay, now let's get back to the topic.
Oh, and General Efficiency, I see your comment on fishing, because, yes, I need fishing as well in Vintage Story.
But there is fishing.
So the fishing we have in our playthrough that we're sharing, bud, is modded in by Primitive Survival, which I do like how it does it. I need to experiment it with more.
Oh. Well, let's try warp this page.
Oh yeah, Keith, that's cool, dude. We need more young education people. And yeah, no, he loves to ask questions. He's very curious, which we heavily encourage. We want him to ask all the questions. Oh yeah, I should check to see if my glass is done. Oh, my glass is done. Perfect. My glass is probably still hot, though. Yeah, no, he asks tons of questions. I'm not sure how his teachers feel about it. But he's very, very curious. And we do our best to encourage that.
I made
Yep.
it. I'm close to the planet. I can see the planet that I've been trying to get to.
There we go. Let's go ahead and get another... Actually, I'm going to put these down, and we'll see if I need another load of glass. 36 is probably not enough. Yeah, he also plays Vintage Story with me sometimes, but recently he's been more in a mood to play, like, Imperial Galactic Survival or other games.
I need to make sure not to hit my ship in the rings.
There we go. Yeah, you don't want to crash your ship there, bud. Although it's not like Space Engineers, where crashing your ship will actually destroy the ship. So I don't know if y'all are familiar with Imperium. Throwing a stack of hot glass into cold water, good lord. Oh yeah, no, like, as I was saying earlier, like, my mother used to work with, like, molten glass for making, like, glass beads and jewelry and stuff. So I'm just sitting here watching myself do this, and I'm just like, this wouldn't work right at all in the real world. Like, this is not how this works. There we go. Alright. Okay, there we go. The top layer is finished. So now I just need to finish.
Oh, those are clouds. Never
So I'm going to knock this one out real quick. And then what I'm going to do is go across the top here. There we go. Now we'll just go ahead and put that one there. I'll put one under it. I was thinking in my mind how I want to properly build this out. I'm sitting here thinking about this. I'm going to go get my next batch of glass going. Because I want to get this done. I also need to make some more fire clay. Alright, I think we got enough for 3 again. Yes, we do. No, we don't. No, we do. Okay, no, I was doing the math wrong in my head there. Just barely. There we go. Beautiful. Alright, let's put that down. Get my bloomery set up here. That's not where I wanted it, but it'll work. You know what? Just because that'll be fun. There we go. Get my quartz. Need more quartz than that. And I do know I'm going to end up with more quartz, with more glass than I need. That's my clear quartz. There we go. That's all right. There we go. Put this in here for now. Would help if I put the top on these. So are drifters just people affected by rot? That is a good question. I personally don't think so. I think the boathorn might be. Because I saw someone post a theory about that, and I was just like thinking about it, and I'm like, you know, the look of the boathorn and all, they might be. I think the drifters are the creatures of that mechanical realm that what's-his-face found and was looking into that have been affected by the rot. That's what I think the drifters are, personally. Oh, yeah, the shivers and boathorn definitely are. Yeah, you know, I'm just gonna eat this pie I charred. Yeah. What if rot overcharges an oxidation? The iron turning the blood into black sludge we see in the lore notes. I mean, that's entirely possible. Like, we're all just taking wild guesses here. Because, I mean, it very much could be. Actually, while I'm waiting for all that to process, I'm going to take my stack of stuff here. And I'm going to go get a little bit more food. I'm going to go do some panning. If anything, the drifters could possibly have gotten whatever happened to Murph got shrimp like Foster. You're not wrong. It could. There's lots of possibilities. Like, as I said, I can't wait to see what they do with the storyline here.
Hey, why are these villagers attacking me if I didn't attack any of them?
What kind of village are you in, bud?
I'm in Zyrax territory and they look like villagers.
Son, you do realize the Zyrax are aggressive.
Then why do they look like villagers?
Well, I mean, they just do, bud. I don't control how the game makes them look, man.
Look more like they have suits on. Oh no. This guy has a red suit, and this guy is called a. This guy has a red suit on.
There you go. That's a good point. Keith in my chat makes a good point, Wyatt.
What?
Pillagers in Minecraft look a lot like the villagers, but they're not nice.
But they're gray, and these what guy. And the only difference is one of the guys are wearing a red suit.
Well, son, some of the talent do work for the Zyrax in that game, but
What?
yeah. Okay. I'm painting limestone sand that I brought back just to see if I get a little more limestone to get some more lime. And the first thing I get is quartz.
This guy's called a settlement chief.
Did you attack a town settlement, bud?
Oh,
Are you sure?
yeah.
Yeah, I want to learn more about Dave, personally.
This guy literally. And this guy's called a garden.
I don't know, bud.
And he has a red suit on.
Oh, I think you're also at one of those aggressive POIs that have, like, the crazy talent at them. So.
Oh.
I think I just figured out what's going on in my son's game. So there's some special POIs in Imperial Galactic Survival where the normally friendly NPCs called the Talon are aggressive. And that's because they're like a group of crazed fanatics that are worshipping like this corruptive influence that's affecting that galaxy you're in.
Statues of some like god-looking thing.
Yeah, those are the guys worshipping the bad stuff. They're the guys worshipping the legacy, but...
So they do work for the Zyrax.
No, actually, the Zyrax and them are also enemies. They're everybody's enemies, buddy.
Zyrax?
No, but those guys are. Zyrax are also your enemy, but that's a different matter. Okay, there we go. Now we got some limestone. Yeah, y'all didn't know we were going to be doing a nice chill panning stream, did you?
That's it. Yeah, I'll call for it.
Yeah, some people do just want to see the galaxy burn. Now, in terms of Imperial Galactic Survival, the faction known as the Legacy is basically like this weird, invasive, biomechanical species. The easiest comparison I have is if you're familiar with Halo, they're similar to the Flood, but unlike the Flood, they can infest more than just organics. They can infest organics and mechanical things. And they're basically trying to take over the universe, or whatever. But they've gotten stuck in the galaxy you're in because the Zyrax and the other species of that galaxy managed to beat them into submission and trap them. And then the infighting between the different factions has basically allowed them to escape again. And so now the whole galaxy's kind of at war dealing with them. And then somehow humanity from the Milky Way got pulled into their galaxy and dragged into the middle of it. And that's kind of what you're dealing with in the game. But one of the things they've recently changed in that game, apparently, that they just revealed in like the storyline, is that the Milky Way humans, for some reason, are resistant to this infestation of the legacy virus or whatever. And so, you know, it's a good thing that we're there because we can actually help them fight it. In that sense.
Oh, what's down here? Staircase into the unknown.
So there you go. That's Imperial Galactic Survival in a nutshell. Outside of that, it's just a survival game with spaceships. Think space engineers with less technical needs. You don't need to know as much technical stuff. Or do as much design work. Man, this is really not efficient for getting me limestone. I'm just gonna have to go back to the limestone biome and just dig up some more. This is also making me miss one of my favorite mods that I found recently. The sluice mod.
A whole underground dungeon.
Yes, son, they do. They have a whole underground place down there. I'm very familiar with that POI, man.
It's another red guy.
So today's stream of, you know, Vintage Story will be listening to my son play Imperial Galactic Survival. I hope that's what you all came here for. Oh, now he decided to stop telling us what's going on. Alright, oh, sorry. I was being a little funny, and he's gone quiet over there. You having to focus there, bud?
Yeah, because right now, I'm trying to fight off these crazy people that have decided to fall into the hands of their ending because I got a rocket launcher.
Okay. Well, watch out for the spiders. That place is also full of spiders.
Oh well, they're probably more dead than them.
Okay, fair enough.
Because the humans are stronger than those spiders.
Yeah.
Oh, I heard one. Where are you?
I made the mistake of not going there with enough boxes to fill up. That was my mistake.
Oh, I hear spider.
And also, in a hilarious note, I spent like 3 or 4 episodes looking for limestone. I sailed all over like the south area, south of where I'm currently located, looking for limestone. Couldn't find anything. Found all kinds of other stuff. But on a weird, crazy hunch, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go look north. That first major like landmass I come to in the north, limestone everywhere, and I'm just like, of course, you know. So that's actually something I'm gonna have to do is do another limestone run. I'm just doing this to kill a little bit of time while I wait for that glass to finish smelting, because I want to get this greenhouse going so I can get some crops planted kind of early here. Because it is still February in the game, and temperature-wise it's still -2 out, but I actually live next to a bauxite biome in this one, so I've got plenty of bauxite. And I found paradite when I was out looking for limestone the first time. I still haven't found chalk, like, even as far south as I tried to go. Also took me forever to find the treasure hunter trader. I do like that one of the things they've changed is apparently you now start with a treasure hunter trader closer to you. Alright. Let's see here. As much as I enjoy panning, I'm going to have to stop because that's... Yeah, you know. I can only do that for so long before I start driving myself slowly crazy here. Alright, let's put some of this away. My blue clay is up here. Also got to work on my inventory management. My inventory management is atrocious. Don't I have, like, some copper arrowheads? Thought I did. Must have turned them all into arrows. Yeah, see, that's what I thought. You know, so I ended up traveling, like, all over this area. And I found this trader, that's building materials, like, building materials. There's another, like, there's a furniture trader over here. You know, a luxury good over there. Now, I haven't fully obviously explored this area down here yet, so he could have been, like, right over here somewhere. But, like, you know, building mats there. I ended up going all the way over to, I think, here. This is the one I found eventually, way over here. So, you know, now my spawn wasn't too far from here. I actually spawned, like, I think I spawned, like, right over in this area originally. But that's where I ended up having to go to find one. It was down there. So there could be one on, like, this side of the island somewhere, and I just missed him. So, that's with my luck. I guarantee that's probably what happened. Alright, let's go ahead and put quart chunks in here. Those clear chunks in there for now. Alright, I'm going to put this down. Hello! Welcome to the chat. So how you doing today? And is that, Radka? Am I saying that right?
Oh! There was a spider on my front door.
Oh, you found a spider there, bud?
Yeah.
Cool.
He was waiting at my front door for me to come out and give him his bills.
Okay.
So you getting my bills today, buddy.
My son is apparently fighting spiders in his game. Alright. Let's see here. Next project that I should go work on while I wait for the glass to finish. Is that still going? You know what? I think I will go mine some more chalk. Or not chalk, but limestone while we're sitting here talking about it, just because that would save me time of trying to pan for it. I know! I've showed him the shivers. He's seen the shivers. And, they kind of worry him. Although, in the world I play with it with my kid in Vintage Story, just because he's still learning, I do have it set that the creatures are passive, and will only defend themselves if you attack them. Which, that's been an adjustment for me, because I'll see like a shiver or something come wandering through it, I'll have that knee-jerk reaction of, oh no, I need my sword, I need to kill it.
It's the mega
So then it just wanders on by, and I'm just like, oh yeah. And there's some mod that we've got in our modded playthrough that we're doing together with my kiddo, that makes the drifters stop in, like, open containers. So, we'll get, like, drifters just wandering through our base, like, opening all of our containers and just looking in them, basically.
And I call them the curious drifters.
Yes, he calls them the curious drifters. It's actually really kind of hilarious. I have no idea which mod's causing that conflict.
Maybe it's the pet mod.
But, yeah, so that world's very, very different. Now, obviously, this is vanilla, so I don't have that going on. Now, interestingly enough, one of the mods has still messed up some of my vanilla stuff here in this game. And even though I've got all the mods disabled and removed, like, they're not even in the mods folder right now when I'm doing my vanilla playthrough here. But essentially, you know how you have to, like, harvest the drifters with your knife to get the loot normally? It's causing them to occasionally drop their loot instead of having to harvest them. Because that's something I normally play with modded in anyways, but it's just very different. Alright, let's go ahead and get going here. Why are we stuck? Oh, because I'm not in that seat. There we go. Grab some berries for fruit bread and then deliver. A drifter casually walks through and eats half my winter preserves. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's interesting. When they're not aggressive, they do like weird little things here. There we go. I'm going to my limestone mining area to get some more limestone so I don't have to try and pan it all. I do like how they've changed the sailboats now, where you just unfurl the sails and it'll just go. That's been a nice change. The other thing I kind of want to do at some point is I want to find some halite. I should have brought my prospecting pick with me. Oh well, hindsight's 20/20, right?
What that means, but sure.
Why hindsight's 20/20 means you realize things you could have done better after you started doing whatever you were doing.
What should I? Oh yes, I should do this guy. Yay! Nothing stopping me today.
Is that... That's a tree over there. I thought there for a second there was some more coal over there in that little exposed rock. Oh man, you have a halite tower right under your house? That's amazing. I've never actually gotten halite in the playthrough, and I've played like nearly 400 hours of Vintage Story, and I've never actually found halite. Is that a trader over there? Okay, that's the luxury goods trader. Actually, he might buy some of the stuff I'm carrying around. I have to go visit him later. You want a sand desert for best chance? Yeah, that's a good point. That's actually part of why I'm thinking about going over here, because I did have a small hit, like right here, and this over here is like a sand desert, so I'm going to have to go hit that one up and see if it's over there. I think it may be picking it up over there. I just haven't got over there to check yet. And is there a way to see what kind of biome you're in, or do you just kind of have to look at it and guess? Because I noticed the block info, or at least the coordinate info stuff, doesn't tell you what biome you're in. A bunch of like grains and stuff over there on the wall.
I'm going out with my sword. It actually does a lot of damage. I'm just one shot at this thing. Man, this is like a boss room.
Let's remember they're not wide, but instead they're very tall. That part I do know. Yeah, that part I was aware of. That they're like maybe 10 blocks across, but like a straight column almost all the way down to the mantle kind of a thing. I had to dig this out so I could get my sailboat through here previously. There's a random fox in the water. What is that over there? I think that's just some seagrass sticking up. Alright, map-wise, where are we going? Where's my... That's my limestone biome over there.
You just quit moving because I'm too scared. Wanna hide from me. Because I'm so powerful.
And more than one piece of fish flesh from a fish. No, I personally haven't, Keith. I've tried several times, and I've never gotten more than, like, one piece of fish flesh. I think that's something they're trying to work on with some of the changes they're making to the, you know, sea life and stuff. Because they apparently have a weight meter as well. You can see, like, if fish is low weight or not. I don't know how you feed the fish to make them not low weight, but it is tracked, whether they're low weight or, you know, good weight or whatever. So, since they do plan to work on, you know, rivers and hopefully fishing, and maybe that'll be a good time for some of those changes there. I think this is limestone over here. Yeah, chicken with good meat. Yeah, good weight can have up to 3. Oh, we got some flint in limestone. Alright. Let's see here. Let me get up to that little ledge right there. There we go. That was not where I wanted. See, like, look, it says salmon low weight. So there's apparently some way for these things to get better weight, but I have no idea what it is. I just lost that rock, didn't I? Actually. Oh, that's ice. There we go. What I'm going to do is do that. And then... dirt. Use my kind of cheesy mining method here to keep it from collapsing on me.
Next room is up the ceiling and I'm gonna check it. And I'm up seeing.
Yeah, but if anyone knows about, like, how you increase a fish's weight in this game, it'd be great to know. Put some offhand so I can actually see. Oh yeah, Now, if you could get, like, even just 2 meat out of the fish, that would be totally worth it. Yeah, that's what it seems to be the case, because we don't seem to have a way to improve their weight or determine, like, what would improve the fish's weight at the moment. They're all scale and bone side. Yeah, I know. It's annoying. Something I hope they fix when they do, like, some of the changes they've been talking about with, like, the fishing and the rivers they're talking about bringing in. I'd love to see that, personally. Because I'd like to be able to build, like, a little fish farm. Who's with me in wanting fish farms? See, the elk having weight makes more sense to me, because the elk is at least an animal you can hunt in the game. If there are elk, you can hunt them. And even capture them and tame them now. They've made that change. So that at least now makes sense to some extent. May not make sense that the one you've tamed and are riding around has weight, because you don't... Most people probably do not intend to butcher their elk, you know. Oh yeah, it does make us feel bad for them being low weight. That's absolutely true. You know what? I'll just keep going down, because why not?
Are those giant mushrooms?
There are giant mushrooms in the game, son, so yes, it could be very much giant mushrooms that you're seeing there, bud. Yep. Alright. Yeah, got a few stacks of limestone here. Not enough, though. Need more limestone. Let's see here. I want to do this.
I've been followed by a pack of raptors.
2 chests full, no less. Alright. Okay, Keith. Alright. I will mine all the limestone. And this random piece of flint, because I wanted that flint, you know. Let's go this way a little bit. Actually, what I could do... But what if I want to boat up here again? Kind of new to this game, and I really don't understand how the temporal world meter works. Okay, so... I'll be happy to help explain that.
It's so hard to hit this raptor when it's in the tall grass.
Alright, bud, I need to talk to my chat for a second, alright, bud?
Okay.
Alright, so the temporal gear here. We'll go ahead and explain this a little bit. So, as it's just sitting here, notice it's sitting at like 99% temporal stability. That's because, you know, my character's not experiencing any temporal anomalies, right? Now, as it turns this direction, so counterclockwise, which it is slowly doing because I'm in a slightly unstable area, basically it's slightly less than 100% stability here, I will slowly lose temporal stability. The more unstable it is, the faster it turns to the left or counterclockwise. And it drains. And as it drains, you encounter more and more anomalies, like drifters appearing and bowtorn appearing and things of that nature around you. And they're kind of transparent because they're the nightmare version. And they won't disappear until your temporal stability gets back up. Yeah, at 50%, things get real interesting.
Oh, and also, if you're
Ah, yeah, my kid probably does sound just like your 7-year-old because he only just turned 8. So there you go.
oh, and if you're in a portal storm, you can see Dave.
Yeah, that's right, son. If you're in a temporal storm, you can see Dave. Now, once you're back into a temporally stable area where the temporal storm is past, your gear will start turning clockwise again until it refills. Oh, congratulations. Happy early birthday to yours. It's turning 8 next month. Mine turned 8 in August. But that's what it does. And essentially it represents, I've heard it kind of represents, like, how close you are to the overlap mechanically between, like, the realm we live in here, the quote-unquote normal world we live in, that the Seraphs are now in, and the Rust realm, where the things like the Drifters and all come from. They originally two separate parallel universes, kind of, if I understand correctly, that have now, due to shenanigans and people messing with things they probably shouldn't have been messing with, they've now gotten kind of entwined and are now overlapping with each other in a bad way.
Oh man, there's a pack of, like...
Yeah, ruins are very dangerous. For new players. Oh, as I sink. Just gonna mine down here at the bottom. Alright, there you go. Enough goofing around there. Let's see here. Find this out. This won't cause any instability problems. There we go. But yeah, if you have questions about the game, I'll do my best to answer them. And also, as a newer player, learn the handbook. The handbook is going to be your friend. Ow, as I drop a rock on my character. The handbooks are going to be your friend. It'll tell you all kinds of things about the game and how they work. Don't sleep on the handbook. Matter of fact, a lot of the people who make mods for the game will include information for their mods in the handbook to make people's lives easier. I know you weren't serious, but maybe I was. Maybe I'm going to use this entire pickaxe mining limestone. But no, actually, I'm kind of tired of having to come up here and run out, especially since I've got a whole bunch of leather that I need to process. Because apparently I decided to set up my house next to, like, 2 or 3 bear spawns. So I get bears, like, fairly consistently. Which means I've always got, like, bushmeat and like, huge hides. But it also means I'm constantly fighting bears.
And they also can one-shot you.
Yes, they can one-shot me if I'm not wearing my armor. But I'm not going to do full 2 chests. I'm probably just going to fill up my inventory a little bit. The temporal storms are, yeah, they're interesting. I had my first one that I experienced when my character was drunk, for the first, like, experienced a drunk one for the first time, like, just an episode or 2 ago. It was in some footage I edited out, but since I made wine for my character to have fruit during the winter, I was like, you know what, I'll top off my fruit meter, drank a bunch of wine, and then a temporal storm came running through, which, let me tell you, the temporal storm plus your character's, like, weird swing while drunk, that is an interesting combination. Okay, well, that's something. Also, new players don't know. Animals and mushrooms spawn at preset chunks. Yes. So mark where you spot them. Yes, absolutely. Because the mushrooms will respawn, assuming you haven't, like, completely mined out whatever they need to spawn on. For example, if they're growing on trees or the ground or whatever, when you remove said trees and ground, you will remove the mushroom spawns effectively. Alright, let's see here. That's enough lime to keep me going for a while. There we go. Get back out of this little ice. I've got my stuff stuck in here. go. Actually, there we go. Yeah, a lot of the stuff so, talking about the handbook there, that's one of the things I constantly go back on, and I've got 400 hours in the game. Making crocs full of death caps to fend off your food thieves. Yeah, it's kind of ingenious. That's something I actually have to watch out for when I'm playing with my son, because he sometimes forgets to check if the mushrooms we're cooking are poisonous or not. And he'll grab mushrooms and just be like, oh no, I'm starving, and start eating mushrooms and start taking health damage. He's like, why am I dying? And I'm like, because you're eating poisonous mushrooms, bud. Like, you gotta check those.
Yeah, I got a bad habit of just doing like, ooh, these look tasty. Nom nom. Why am I losing health?
But yeah, a lot of people forget to check the mushrooms.
What time I ate a poisonous mushroom did I die?
Actually, that might be something I could do for one of the mods in my next series when I do a challenge series, because I want to do a challenge after I finish this
Who can
one up.
eat the hottest mushroom?
No, so I was thinking there's a mod out there that makes it so that you can't see if a mushroom's poisonous or not until after you've like eaten it or whatever.
No. That'd be terrible.
They do more damage if they're in cooked meals. Oh wow.
What?
That I didn't know, Keith.
What?
I know there's a mod that makes it so that you can actually cook the poison out of the mushrooms. I didn't know that by default, though, they actually do more damage if you cook them. Makes sense, though. So one of the things I do with them when I find poisonous mushrooms a lot of times is I will use them to bait animal traps, because apparently the animals don't care. Weirdly. I also use them to make rot. We've been gone long enough, I guarantee that my glass should be done. So hopefully we can maybe finish up the greenhouse we've been working on.
Oh my gosh. I didn't see I knew there was a spider nearby, and I could see it in the grass, so I started shooting, and then I shot, and then I actually hit it even though I didn't see it.
Very good, I'm glad you got that spider, bud.
Alien insects incoming!
Wow. Yeah, see, I've never even paid attention to that, Keith, because I don't think I've ever actually thrown a poison mushroom in a meal and cooked it before. Alright, I was going to go over here to the luxury goods trader. Since I have a whole bunch of random junk from the archives, I'm going to see if this luxury goods trader will buy any of it. Because I kind of set myself a challenge. I want to get a whole bunch of rusty gears. Just
Because that's
fun.
funny. Rusty gears are funny.
Yes, they are, bud.
What about temporal gears?
The temporal gears are not money, but they are valuable. My character is about to freeze to death. It's getting cold. Alright. Yes, yes. What you got, Alphonse? Let's see here. I can sell you emeralds, noble necklace, painting, riding gloves, diamond. You'll buy the orange lore book. Interesting. Shoes, noble shirt, which I actually think I have a noble shirt. Hold on. I do. Does have to be in good. It has to be in good condition though. It does and doesn't. It will tell you how to repair certain things. But I've been having to learn, like, you know, kind of by hit and miss how to repair certain things. I don't think I have anything he actually wants to buy with me. That is most unfortunate. I need to build a fire or something here. My character is going to freeze. Alright, well, you know what? We're just going to go. There we go. There we go. Alright. I did dive into the freezing cold water at midnight. You know, I did kind of do this to myself. Yes, you are correct. Like, I absolutely deserve the fact that my character is going to probably freeze to death. Like, I will not deny the fact that most of the time I die in this game, it's because I foolishly did something foolish. Not because of the game mechanics. You know, punishing me for no reason. But that's also why I like survival games.
What?
Anyone else a fan of Unreal World by the by? Because that's another game I play. I've been thinking about adding it to my stream rotation. I currently do, you know, kind of a, you know, recorded series of it right now. Let's see here. Oh, I'm not aware of that game. So it is a roguelike, and it's very old school. So if like you're looking for something with like the newest graphics and all that, Unreal World's not going to be your game. It's very top-down roguelike design, but they started developing it in 1992. It's been active development this whole time. So to give you an idea of how old this game is. They have updated the graphics a couple times though, so it's not like just, you know, X's and O's on a board or anything like that. It's got like actual like little pixel art now. But it's a survival game. And the idea is you're in like Iron Age Finland, basically, and it's got like a whole bunch of Iron Age Finland like lore and mythology, what's going on. With a bit of a twist. Like for example, the NPCs in the game call the world the Unreal World because they feel like it's not the real world or something like that. Like I'm not sure the exact lore there, but it's very much just a go out and survive kind of game. You know, go out and do. Well, I didn't land where I was going to land, or I was trying to, but go on, close the sails. There we go. All right, back to base. That's not what I wanted. Control, run. There we go. And I've been playing it because, again, so I'm one of the YouTubers I've learned a lot about a vintage story from, named Hardware Despair, or his actual name's Ryan, but his channel's called Hardware Despair. I didn't realize you for Life is a Simulator believers. You know, I guess they were. I don't know. The guy who develops it is from Finland, and you can tell that it's like this one guy and his friends and family developing the game because all the pictures that they use for the characters in the game, so for the character portraits, are just him and his family and friends dressed up. Oh, it's really interesting. It takes a lot of thought and planning about what you're doing in the game and stuff to survive appropriately. But yeah, no, I learned about it from Hardware Despair in his channel. Alright, I should probably start with fire to get my character warmed up before I freeze to death here. But if you want to see what it looks like, you know, I have some videos on my channel you can watch and you can go look at. If you don't want to, you know, commit to just trying game. Or if you want to see someone who actually knows what they're doing in the game, go check out Hardware Despair's channel. He knows a lot more about the game than I do. Like, I'll admit, because I've only got probably 10 hours in the game. But I enjoyed. Alright, now I can feed my character again. Now that I'm not freezing to death. And I've returned with my, you know, fun fact. If you have a pit fire burning and put a raw log in it without cooking anything, it will last a long time. Really? So just like sitting there? Oh, you mean like just a log? Not firewood? So, like, if I just took, like, one of these oak log pieces here, and just threw it in there. Okay, I'll have to keep that in mind. I may get another crate for in here, then. Not debarked either, so just like that raw log I pulled out, then. Good to know. Alright, let's see if the glass is still molten here. Yeah, it is. Okay, let me grab my tongs before I make a mistake. Go. Yeah, for that winter fire effect. Nice. I'll have to try that. I will definitely have to try that here. There we go. Nice. Alright. I'm going to put these down here. There we go. Gotta reorganize my inventory a little bit. I'm gonna go throw some more limestone in the mill. Which, that's something else that, like, as soon as I get enough flax, I'm improving my mill, by the way. You know, I almost hate the fact that I built the sailboat before I built the mill. Don't get me wrong, I love my sailboat, but this mill is, like, game-changing. This is the first time I've ever built one in Vintage Story, FYI, for people watching. I've never built a mill before. Or windmill. Hey, I've built querns before, but I've never built an actual windmill to run them. Before this episode, before this. Let's see here. Cutting leaves with an actual axe has the best chance to drop seed. Really, not with the shears, because I normally use the shears. Where's my hole? Here's my hole. I would have thought that the shears would have had the best chance. Shears have slightly less chance, I believe. Huh. That's good to know. I had no idea. Alright. Now, I don't need one on this corner, but I'm going to put one there anyways. There we go. So, back wall is done. Yep, I'm going to need at least one more run of glass. Yeah, best for when you want that one redwood tree, and you just want that seed. Now, that makes sense. I have to keep that in mind. Because one of the things I do is I definitely, like, shear and knock the leaves off trees before I cut them down, usually, just to make sure I've always got plenty of seeds to replant. Do I have enough to get to? I do. Okay. Go. I kind of wish you could stack these bloomery parts. I understand why they don't. Little mechanics idea, but it doesn't change the fact that I wish you could. Alright, this last batch of glass will probably get us there, I think. There we go. Cool. Alright, I'm going to put these last 4 pieces I've got in place while I wait for that to smelt. And then I think we'll try tilling some of this. See how that goes. I'm going to put one there. You know, I'm going to go up to this side here. Knock this one out. There's a YouTuber I watch. He's made a whole house with plaster and glass without ever unlocking copper smelting. That was something... that sounds like something to watch. Like, man. Like, I thought I was going a little, you know, interesting while doing this, like, modified wattle and daub design I've been doing. Slowly but surely. Like, I haven't, like, you know... Oh, wait, I forgot to put this last piece up there. You know, clearly I still have a lot of work left to do before my house is really finished. Like, it's workable, but it's not finished. Because I was doing wattle and daub. Because I like the wattle and daub look. And I was doing that to give my workshop kind of an open look. You like iron. You still haven't... Still can't get to make... No, I get it. The plaster is so much work. You know. Ooh, I should go check my chickens. Yeah, no, the plaster is a ton of work. Like, even I've never tried plaster at all in the game. Wattle and daub, yes. Plaster, no. Alright. 4 days. Okay. This snow is going to bother me. I really need to come through here and put down some walkways so I don't get as deep of snow. Let's check my pig. Pig? How you doing? Ready to mate. Okay, so you need some more food. Yep. Yep, you're good. Alright, let's get you some more food there, pigs. Yeah, no. I haven't done a bunch of iron crafting, mostly because I just haven't mined tons of iron. Especially because I made the terrible mistake of deciding I was going to make myself iron chainmail for running the archives. Which, let me tell you, the iron chainmail was very helpful. I liked having the iron chainmail. So much iron. So much smithing. It made me very sad I hadn't set up his half hammer yet. You know. Let's see here. What was I coming in here? Right, I was getting food for the animals. That's what I was doing. Don't mind me. How much longer I got on this? 10 hours? Oh, I'm gonna have to cook this. Yeah. Yeah, like I spent, oh god, I think it was 4 to 6 hours of actual playtime just making the chainmail shirt. And I didn't even finish with the helmet or boots. I just have the chest piece. And I was like, that's enough. So let me cook this meat here. Yeah, I have flour. You know what? I'd rather stew it. I think I'll stew it instead. Well, let's see here. We'll do onions, and we'll do turnips for my stew. Alright. Okay. Yeah, we'll do 8 in this one. Sorry, there we go. 6 and 6. Yeah, I keep going back and forth about if I want to do like chainmail. Or the plate mail, I mean. For when I go to the final fight. That's currently in the game. Have you actually played through the story, Keith? I appreciate you not saying much more. No, I mean, you're not going to spoil it for me because I already know. As far as, like, what's left in the story for me. But I appreciate you not spoiling it for other people who may not know. Pick that one up, put it there. In your opinion, for the final fight, do you think the chainmail or the plate mail is worth it? Because I'm kind of tempted just to keep it at chainmail myself and just finish off the helmet and the boots for the chainmail. and do it that way, not bother with plate. Okay, so you're kind of thinking, so you kind of think that I'm kind of right in my opinion on that, that, you know, the plate mail would probably be way too much. Now, one problem I will say is when I did the fight in the archives, they still had that issue where the healing wasn't working if you got airborne. And let me tell you, that made healing nearly impossible in that fight. And I actually threw like 7 lives at the final boss. Yeah, no, I have to agree the shield's much more important. I made the mistake of not taking a shield with me to the archives. And that's a mistake I won't make again, if I ever do that fight again. Will take shield with me. That should probably be one of my next projects, is to go ahead and make a shield. A proper shield. Yeah. See, Loadclaw, and welcome to chat. That's a mistake I've learned the hard way. Iron Branded Oak Shield is the best you found? I was thinking of doing Iron Bandage. Well, I'll do an Oak Shield, since you're saying that works really well. But yeah, no, like, I used to never carry a shield around in the game, but then I also never tried playing the story stuff, so... After having done the archives, yeah. I'm gonna be keeping a shield on me for all future story content. No, it's actually kind of surprising, all the different things that do matter like that. Like, using bones for your stone tools to make them have just a little bit more durability. I'm not surprised that the different woods have different durabilities for the shields as well. I wonder if there's something higher than oak, though. Like, maybe... I don't know. Trying to think of what tree might be harder than oak. Yes, son?
I can't find a peroxide tank in my ship.
It's a pentaxide, son, and you don't need to go to the tank itself, bud.
Then why can't I place it?
Well, you should be able to do it from your inventory by pressing, I think it's the F3 menu? Let's see here, yeah. I knew I had some...
Let's try F2.
Sorry, my kid was asking me a question about Imperial Galactic Survival, for those who might be new to chat. 5 servings. I'll leave that for now. Oh yeah, nut flour would be amazing. Because nuts are absolutely edible. Acorns are definitely a thing. So same with walnuts and all that. I had friends that were members of the Cherokee tribe here in the United States. And one of the things that they learned to do was make like acorn bread and stuff. I never learned to make acorn bread. Kind of wish I had from them, but I never did. But no, that's something they should definitely add to the game. Because they have, like, sunflowers for making, like, seed oil and stuff, right? Or... Well, actually, I don't know. I think vanilla, you can't make the seed oil, can you? I know in expanded cooking, you can make the seed oil. Can't wait for it to warm up for my bees to start being productive again. So close to having my greenhouse ready. So close. Alright, that's the other thing I was going to do. Yeah, they just produce grain and vanilla. I think it's either expanded cooking or culinary artillery that makes it so you can also produce like seed oils from them, I think. Now, because I think I'm starting to mix up like my mods as to which mods do what. There we go. But still, the fact that you can make sunflower flour and stuff as grain let's just see here. Terra Petra. Okay. Moisture. Alright, so until I get that sealed in, it won't count as a greenhouse then. Got it. Alright. Just wanted to check. That's my 2 pieces of Terra Petra I have. Just 2 pieces. Oh god. It's super funny. Imagine skinning enough of those to grind a flower. Oh my god. Yeah, having grown sunflowers, like, just the vast amounts of fields you have to grow of those things to produce a usable amount of sunflower seeds is ridiculous. Like, get one glass. I need more grass. That's one of the things I don't like about winter, is the harvesting the grass. You have to, like, dig up the snow and then harvest the grass. I should have backlogged more grass before winter hit. So that's something I've learned the hard way in this playthrough. Is, you know, make a backlog of dried grass before winter comes through. Well, I'm waiting on the grass to, or the glass to finish.
Target activate?
What are you trying to do, bud?
I'm trying to activate my target to another planet.
You trying to travel to another planet in the game?
Yeah.
Did you go into the map and lock target on it?
I press lock target.
Okay. Now, are you looking at the target when you're flying around?
Yes.
You got your cursor aimed at the target?
Yes.
Did you press K?
I'm pressing K.
Have you turned the ship on?
Yes, it can move.
Okay. I don't know, bud. I'll have to come over there and look.
It says you need to fly towards the target to activate.
Oh. Press forward so that you're traveling in that direction, and then press K.
It still doesn't.
You might have to be at maximum speed, bud.
It is on maximum speed.
You press K? Okay. I'm gonna go save my kid from Imperial Galactic Survival for a second, folks. Give me just a second. Alright, let me see what you got going on here, bud.
Okay, so I'm pressing forward.
Okay, you're not locked onto that planet.
Oh!
So, click on this. Click on the planet you want. That. Okay. Okay, alright. There should be an indicator on here. Stick around. Should be like a little arrow. Pointing painted. Open your phone. There it is. You turned off the arrow pointing towards me. Look at that. So you get lined up on that there.
Now you need that.
Okay. There you go. Okay.
Thank you.
Alright. I rescued my kid from Imperial Galactic Survival and figuring out how to use his warp drive in the game. There we go. I can hear you, chicken. Be careful, I'll come over there and hunt you, chicken. Alright. So if you're wondering what we're up to, we're going to go check on some sheep I captured. I'm trying to get sheep farming up and running while I wait on my glass to finish smelting here. One of these days, these carrots will be finished. And I'll take them and their seeds back to my house. Alright. Yeah, I was going to capture goats to produce milk to get into cheese making in the game. But I stumbled into bighorn sheep instead. Alright. This is my sheep pen. You're stuck with goats? I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, these are my sheep. This one's pregnant. I'm waiting for her to give birth so I can capture the lamb and take it back down. Don't follow the pin with the sheep, though.
Or else they will horn you to death.
Yeah,
If you do rock, paper, scissors.
I accidentally fell in there the other day and they beat me to death.
And we made up a new type of it. It's where human beats bear, bear beats sheep, sheep beats human.
And the joke my son's referring to there is I was joking at the time that I recorded that episode that, you know, I have no problem hunting bears and can kill bears fairly consistently without dying. Not like, you know, nice watching you, sheep. Yeah, one tried to come get me. There's another one. There's just all kinds of sheep over here. I could try to capture those guys, but I don't have any bait with me to throw in my trap. But the joke we were talking about is, again, I hunt bears quite often because there's like 3 bear spawns around here. That about every 2 months or so, bears will respawn in my game. I have to deal with the bears. So I've gotten really proficient at trapping and fighting them in various ways. But then, you know, only to get beaten to death by 3 bighorn sheep. You know, quite easily. So, his joke that he made was, you know, man versus bear, man wins. Bear versus sheep, bear wins. Sheep versus man, sheep win. Yeah, I've never milked a goat. Not in game or real life. Mostly because I've never tamed them enough to do that. But I've had goat cheese, and goat cheese is actually quite good. Now, weirdly, I've never had sheep cheese. Yeah, they definitely do panic. I saw Hardware succeed in milking, like an untamed goat at one point. I think he basically had to, like, sit there kind of crouched down until it calmed down enough, and he was able to right-click on it with the bucket. Like, I think it was just a timing thing. Alright, I was gonna get more food for the pigs. I keep forgetting what I'm working on in the game. Getting too easily distracted here. I was gonna go feed the pigs. Let's see here. What shall I feed the pigs? I think the pigs will get more grain.
Oh my, I discovered a new fraction. Zirax Empire.
Yes, Zyrax Empire is the regular Zyraxer, but...
And it means, like, there's a bunch of Zirax on the planet.
Yes, there are a bunch of Xerox in the game, bud. There we go. Yep. You're good. How you doing? Give you a few more things of food. Yeah, you're a good pig. Good pig. I like the pigs, though, because they breed fast and they provide a good amount of meat and hides. And fat. More importantly, fat. Alright. Is my glass done yet? No. Unfortunate. You know, I'm gonna just put this in here for now. Just toss this in here on the shelf for now. I don't need to carry 2 of those with me. Yeah, boars are great. The opposite of Minecraft pigs. No, I agree. Like they're superior to the Minecraft pig. What box I want this in? This will be fun. Foxes also drop fat if they're good weight. The only small critter that does so, you believe. Oh, I didn't know that. I was not aware of that fact. Yeah, because, you know, I don't think I've ever seen a rabbit drop fat. Now you mention it. Clear up some of this extra junk in my inventory while I'm sitting here thinking about it and waiting on this glass to finish smelting. Last thing I need before I can get my greenhouse up and running. Anyone know if planting your trees in winter will affect whether or not they survive? Or if it's just that solid 40% chance luck roll with season not having any effect on it? I know in some of the farming mods I use, season and stuff will affect it. But I don't know if in vanilla it does. Now, I do know all the varieties of trees I've got do need to varnalize, meaning they have to be exposed to cold weather for a certain amount of time. Okay, so just like with the berries, they're not gonna grow. So until spring, we won't know if they're even gonna start to grow and survive. Oh, good. My resin tree has respawned on me. Yeah, and to give you an idea of when it comes time to making steel, look, I'm just sitting on top of a bauxite biome here. Like this entire area from like my house, basically in here all the way over to that mountain range over there is just nothing but bauxite. So I spawned luckily when it comes for late game stuff. Just some of the early game stuff was a little rough. But I also got super lucky. This is like the closest I've ever spawned with bees. My bees were just right here. House, bees. Beautiful. I got so lucky on that. It's also the first time I ever found bees without using the mod Buzzy Bees. If people are familiar with that mod or not, I don't know. But Buzzy Bees is a lovely mod that helps you find bees if you can't hear them. Because it puts the buzzing words down at the bottom of your screen showing that you're nearby bees when you get near them. Oh, good. Finally. Finally the glass is done. Alright. Yep. Put these down here. Yeah. Buzzier Bees is fantastic. Like, when I'm playing modded, I always include that mod. Like, I don't need a hearing aid, but sometimes, like, little sounds like that with all the background noise, I won't hear them. But this time was the first time I'd ever found them by accident. You know, without that mod. Yeah. Before I ever used that mod, I never found bees. Like, I'd use that mod the first time I ever found bees to find them. So, like, I feel you there. Alright, we're gonna find out. I have enough glass. I'm a little worried that I may not have enough glass. I do not. Alright. We'll do that. That. And we'll go get the last bit of glass I need. One more load of glass. It's teasing me with how close it is. Oh, it should be enough. There we go. There we go. That is not where I wanted that. Now, if I break it now, out. Alright, so people claim that fire clay doesn't spawn on the surface anymore, except in bauxite zones. Can anyone confirm this? I've never found surface fire clay in... I don't think surface fire clay spawns anymore. I have seen none of it, and I've been all over this bauxite zone. It's like zero surface fire clay. The only time I've seen fire clay spawn at this point has been under black coal. And that wasn't even in me. I have not found it, personally. Actually, you know, wait. Did I find some under... I think I found some, like, down under here. Yeah, I found some, like, black coal and some fire clay down under here. But I was out chasing tin. So... You know... I've never seen surface spawns. But then I also started playing in 1.20, so I can, you know... There we go. This is going to be hilarious. Reminds me when I get spawned out of nowhere and killed me. Oh yeah, no, the goats can be really aggressive in this. Thankfully, they don't... Unlike the bighorn sheep, the goats don't normally stand and fight you. The bighorn sheep will, though. The bighorn sheep will absolutely just be like, nope, I'm going to fight you. But yeah. Yeah, I never got to experience the joys of surface fire clay. And pretty much all the fire clay I've ever had, I've mostly had to make. Which actually, do I have the stuff to make anymore? I do. So I'm actually going to make some more. There you go. I need to put that back in there. Yeah, you're preparing some more calcified flint as you speak. Yep. That's part of the reason I was actually kind of happy to see that flint vein over there in that limestone when I was mining, and actually even mined a little bit of it, because I've only got one full stack of flint left to make calcified flint out of. Eventually I'll make some refractory bricks, but that's going to require me getting that pulverizer set up. Alright, I need to finish putting my tannin into this. Yep, that's not what I wanted. I'm going to have to get my axe, aren't I? It's just been a day of me right-clicking in the wrong places.
Guess what, Dad? I'm still not at the planet yet, and I still got 0.1 AU. I don't know what AU stands for.
AU means astrometric units, if I remember correctly. Oh yeah, you want your warehouse district in the city made out of brown bricks? Wow, that's an impressive use of fire clay refractory bricks. Let's see here. What do I need to make refractory bricks? So I need fire clay. That's the tier 3 ones. Let me go back. I want that's the fire clay. Where's my there's tier 1. Okay, so fire clay, crust quartz, and then bauxite, which that I need the pulverizer for. So this is why I need to get a pulverizer, because we need these if we're ever going to make refractory bricks for making a kiln. Just make tier 2. Let's see here. What's the recipe for tier 2 here? Tier 2. So the olivine. Thankfully, when I was out looking for limestone originally, I actually fell into a cave with a nice olivine vein in it. So I'm going to have to go back down there and mine that out. Yeah, it's the...
The sad thing is that I can't, if I'm at a place that's far away and when I'm warp, I'm still very far away, I can't warp again.
Yeah, exactly. Olivines everywhere in the Peridite biome, which I found a Peridite biome. The main problem is this limonite you have to find for the tier 3 ones. Which I've heard the tier 3 ones are really good. They almost never, like, they have a 1 in 1,000 chance to actually take damage when using them. And what's up, bud? Are you trying to go to that big planet?
Yes.
You can't go to the big planet. It's a gas giant. You have to go to its moon. Can't land on the gas giant, bud. There we go.
The moon's like, can I even warp to the moon?
Yeah, that's what you targeted originally, bud.
But I can't warp again.
That's because you just have to fly over to it.
Will that take less time? Because I've been trying to get there for like 20 minutes and I haven't got there.
Yes, I'm just...
Oh, why can't I warp 2 times to get to something?
Well, because it's only like 70 kilometers away, man. You don't need to warp 70 kilometers in the game.
Wait, would that take a long time to get
Yep.
there?
No, it won't take a long time, but yeah, no, I know you need steel to mine it, which is part of the reason I'm like, yeah, I'm not super worried about the tier 3 ones, but I will take your advice and go for the tier 2 ones though, because that'll those still like last a long time and break fairly rarely, from what I understand. I'm trying to think what to do to kill time while I wait for that glass to finish smelting. Um, that's why I kind of want to see how they advance technology more as the story continues. Because I mean, obviously, they've only got what chapter 2 or 3 of the story out, and it's supposed to be like 8 or 9 chapters total in the story content. If I remember correctly from what I was reading online and stuff. Feel free to tell me if I'm wrong, because I very well could be. What time is it? 4 a.m. And it's still smelting. Come here. You want to see what? Yeah, I want to see water wheels. I also want to see water wheels. And crucible steel and glass blowing and fishing. Oh yeah, all of those would be fantastic, and should be very doable within the confines of the game. Wait, before I run off, I about made a mistake. I want my pickaxe. So I want to see all those things you just listed. I agree with you fully on all of those. Yes, glass bottles would be amazing. Alright. I will take my iron pro pick. And grab my hammer, because I'm going to do something real quick. Nope, it's in here. There we go. Do a little smithing real quick. Oh, and pewter. Oh, yeah. Pewter would be awesome. I'd be totally down for some pewter. Yeah, I've never actually worked with pewter myself. I had a friend who did it, though, for a few years. He was making pewter stuff.
It's gonna take me like 10 minutes to get to the moon.
Well, it takes a while to travel in that game, bud. Where did I put my tongue? Oh, there, my tongs. The day I am able to build airships in VS is the day I become a nomad. So, general efficiency. There is a mod that I've seen that adds airships. And I'm thinking about playing with it in my next modded playthrough. Or server, or whatever you want to call it. And it looks kind of cool. And apparently the people working on that mod they've got some improvements they want to make to it, but like right now apparently the passenger seat doesn't work. The driver's seat works and the storage chest works, but if you add a passenger seat to it, that apparently doesn't work. Oh, good. My glass actually finished. Right as I was getting ready to go out and do something. Alright. There we go. So, yeah, no, airships would be totally cool. Because I like that. I like the look of that mod. It kind of fits the theme when you start getting some like the Jonas Tech stuff that's late game. So I feel like the airships fit that theme fairly well. I kind of want to see them make some improvements to like the rift wards and stuff and some of the other Jonas Tech items. Not that I've gotten to play with them much, you know. That's plenty hot enough. There we go. All right. I've never actually made a single Jonas item. Me neither. Like, I have some of the parts for the first time ever, but I've never made any items. Partially because you just need all that copper nickel or whatever it is. You have to, like, mix the copper and the nickel and stuff. But Yeah, I want to try and get into some of the Jonas stuff in this playthrough, maybe. I haven't decided yet. My fire burned up. Make a new pickaxe. Yeah, I have so many Jonas parts because my salt mine goes down to the mantle. Wow. Yeah, I actually haven't explored too many of like the ruins. Like I haven't even found a translocator yet in this playthrough. Beyond the one that's in the Resonance archives. Now, what I would like to see is player creatable translocators. Now, I know there's mods that add those. And you made a kill box for those little things down there? Nice. I've seen some of the kill box designs. Are you using the one where you do like water and lava to each other, basically? And you use the water to like force the creatures into the lava? Or you just got like a place where you can stand and they can't hit you? Oh, right, I forgot I put down the tongs, because I'm an idiot. Alright. Attempt number 2 to finish this glass project.
It's been so long and I'm only at 40 kilometers.
It takes a while, bud.
Too long.
Alright, let's see here. So, one there. There. One there. One there. And then just to keep it even, there. There we go. I think we're officially a greenhouse. Let's find out. Yeah, just tell me about your kill box design you're using to kill the Sheevers and stuff. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there you go, bud. You got a point. Now you understand the panda being the guy behind the steering wheel. It's not. I don't think this is a greenhouse.
Wait, what did you say, Dad?
Is it too big? Alright, let's try if I do this one. No. I might need to bring this down a level. Let's see here. Let me do some math. So, if we go back, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we have to count that. So that's 13. A spawn-proof box surrounded by walls, like chiseled holes in. Okay, so you're doing you built a box that can't attack you in, but you can attack them out of. It's 13 that way, so if we go up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. So that's 8. Go across, it should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Nice. You're gonna chisel a cannon? That'll be cool. I want to see that. I want to see pictures of that. Try planting a seed. Oh, yeah, you got a good point. Let me go get a seed. Let me go get some seeds. Yeah, I didn't think about the fact that you gotta put a seed in there first. So let's grab some of my seeds here. So grab my flax. I don't think I'll be able to grow rice in there just yet. And let's see here. Yeah, we'll do some spelt. Spelt should be fine in there. I'm actually currently carrying the Vintage Story Facebook group. Just a sentence I never thought I'd say.
Closing my eyes and not focusing on the time made it go to 2023.
What am I doing? I need to harvest this grass. Alright, so let's get a seed. I'm going to plant. I'm going to waste this Terra Petra by planting flax. Oh, yep, nope, the greenhouse is working. There it is. Thank you for that advice there, Keith. Alright, so it's plus 5 degrees in here, which means it's outside 6, so it's 1 degrees in here. And my seed likes minus 5 it up, so as long as it doesn't get too cold in here, we'll be okay. So, yeah, I'm not a member of the Vintage Story Facebook group. I should probably actually join that. There we go. Yeah, it's interesting where our lives take us, though, about sentences you never think you'd say. And being a parent now, there's a lot of sentences I never thought I would say. Oh, you never thought you'd be active on Facebook? Oh, yeah, now I feel that. I remember when Facebook first came out, and I was just a kid in high school.
It won't be that long, since it's at 15. 14 kilometers.
Everyone was talking about how I was competing with MySpace at the time. There we go. Gonna knock all this grass out until all this land. Start farming. There we go. Let's see here. How is this growing anyways? This growth speed's 107%. That's good. Matter of fact, it was actually one of the tech guys who I was in class with. So at the time I was taking a computer programming class in high school. And one of the other kids in the class was just like, oh yeah, man, you gotta check this out, and showed us Facebook. Use cut grass function on scythe. Grass will never grow on that grass block. Really? Okay, Keith, that's good to know. I did not know that.
I'm so close. I can literally see the shadows of the craters. I got 5 kilometers.
Let me actually go do that, since I have a scythe right here. I don't need to pick right this second. So
4 kilometers.
whoever we're cutting plants versus zombies adventures from the site. Oh yeah. So is a cut grass function on this? Oh. Remove grass. Okay. Good to know. I'll have to keep that in mind. Yeah, you discovered it too late. Oh, yeah. The PV's Z fan.
I'm here. I'm finally on the moon.
You know, I miss Plants vs. Zombies. I used to play that game a bunch. I had a friend that was into it. They got me into it. But nowadays, it's all like Vintage Story and random roguelikes. Like, I got into a Cave of Cuds kick the other day. Caves of Cud. You know? And then I was experimenting with some of the Steam Next Fest demos, too, recently. Looking for some of the games that scratch some of those old itches. Like, I used to play a lot of Kenshi. Anyone here familiar with Kenshi? Nice. Yeah, my wife and I actually play games together occasionally. For us, though, it's like Stardew Valley and those types of games, like the cozy games. That's what we tend to play together. Although I do occasionally drag her into my survival games, like Conan Exiles. But she unfortunately can't play something like Vintage Story here because the first person makes her motion sick. Oh god, Kenji, please don't drag my more repeat carcass away from that addictive game. Hell yeah. Don't make me go back to the hub. I understand. Well, in that case, you should definitely not check out Valorborn or City 20. Definitely don't check out City 20. Don't. Because that's got all kinds of Kenshi feelings about it. There we go. Alright. Time to get the flax in the ground. So I think I'll do a full flax crop for my first crop here. Yeah, I've seen people talking about, like, all the flax hate in the game. Because everyone's like, flax is not the superior crop. The way the game code is right now, flax is like the superior grain. Too useful. Even if it's not as good as food. I need more flax. Do 100 martial artist commune where everyone had... Man. I tried doing that, a martial artist playthrough in Kenshi. I never finished it. Because I tried doing the stereotypical skeleton martial artist. And, yeah, that stuff. It's a dedication. You gotta dedicate to it. Like, it's hard. But it's so good, though. Now, were you one of those people that went and got, like, all the hybers, like Beep? Are you a Beep fan? Absolutely. Beep's amazing. I definitely may have done a, like, a Beep kind of playthrough, a themed playthrough once. So, don't worry. You don't have to worry about me slandering the great and powerful Beep. Probably one of the best playthroughs I ever watched someone else do, though, was, like, where they built Beep into, like, a martial arts assassin type build. And used him to, like, kidnap people and stuff. To turn into some of the empires. Put that in there for now. Just get that out of my inventory. Cool. There we go. Go. Alright. I'm gonna go look for that salt. That halite there. Just because now that I've finished the farm project, or the greenhouse, I think I want to go find halite. Oh yeah, no. Greenhouse, super cool. It is a time commitment, though. Now that... So, let's... Since you're a newer player, I'm going to explain what's going on here. So, if you wanted to make a super simple greenhouse, all you need is, like, a roofed-in thing, and the roof has to be at least 50% glass. Okay? So... Like, that is... What I built is technically overkill for building a greenhouse. But I did that on purpose. And what I'll show you... And this is a design I saw on the subreddit that someone was talking about. And basically what I did is I have this bottom layer of soil. And then on either side of it I have water. That's not necessary, but I decided to do it anyways just because I like symmetry. And then I put these blocks of medium fertility soil on top of that water. And put a wet layer of water behind them. And just worked my way up doing the whole thing. That way it all stays watered at least 75% moisture. Without me having to do anything. That is not at all necessary for a greenhouse. Does make it easier, though. However, the thing to remember with a greenhouse is your maximum size on your internal wall. So, like, inside from this wall to that wall and from top to bottom and from that wall to that wall is 14 by 14 by 14 cube. Is your maximum space, which is why I actually made this one a little short. If you go all the way to this wall, it's like 13 cubes long, or 13 squares long, and then it's like, I think, right at 10 squares high, if I remember correctly, and right about 11 squares across. And I did that odd just so I could get a nice door in the middle here. And that's the trick to building a greenhouse. And what it does, this is what Keith and I were checking earlier when we were checking the crops, is if we notice, it says moist farmland, medium fertility, and we're growing, and it's got plus 5C from greenhouse. So outside, it is 0 degrees. But effectively for this plant, it is 5 degrees C, meaning you can grow crops longer, or both earlier and later in the season, depending on where you're at. And if you're in, say, a tropical, a temperate zone, you could grow tropical plants inside of a greenhouse if you're careful about it. You can also turn on underground farming in the settings when you do World Gen. I think you can technically turn it on after World Gen, but I'm not very good at the whole modifying world settings after you've created the world. And the underground farming lets you do a similar thing, because the deeper you go underground and the closer you get to the mantle, the warmer it gets as well. As an FYI. So, the weird little things you can do in inventory. It's got all kinds of neat things you can do. And they just plan to keep adding to it. And then, of course, they have their wonderful modding community that has, like, I don't even know how many mods out there that just adds all kinds of cool things to the game. You know, countless mods. I mean, it's not technically countless, but I have no idea what the number is. Grab this as I get back over here to my sailboat. And at some point, I'm going to come dig this out. This is a sky iron thing. Yep. All those details are in the handbook. And there's also a very good wiki on the website as well. Yep. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff you can do in this game. That's part of the reason we're talking about, you know, some of the future plans. As you saw right now, I have a windmill, a very poorly built windmill, running my little quern for grinding flour. And eventually it will be running a halve hammer and hopefully a pulverizer as well in the near future. But we're all hoping to see them add things like water wheels, especially if they add rivers like they're talking about. Because that'll give us another option instead of just the windmills for doing that kind of stuff. Yeah, no, I agree that it's kind of like meteoric iron is such a strange thing. There's a mod out there that I've been watching that someone just made recently. And I found out about it through Hardware Despair because they're using the mod on his server. Because it was actually one of his members of his community that made the mod, apparently. That lets you make meteoric iron steel. So take your meteoric iron and turn it into steel. I think that's kind of a cool idea. But no, outside of that, like normally I agree that it's too rare to use for anything that you might lose or wear out or things like that. Let me go. Let's see here. Which is going to be my best spot? You know, I'm going to go park the boat over here. Is that a bear? What is that? Lo and behold, the bear. At least they got the swimming animation on the bears pretty close to accurate as far as how bears actually swim. Alright. I'm going to park next to this copper mine over here. Alright, let's get this closer to shore so I can get it wheeled around. Like to back in when I can. There we go. Good enough. Perfect. Stay. Stay. Boat. Stay. That's where I dug out a huge amount of copper down there. It's actually thinking about that. I don't think I ever prospected down here. That one. Yeah. No, I feel you on that gamer hoarding instinct. It's too true. Let's see here. We've got bismuth, cassiterite, sulfurite, borax, and minuscule amounts of halite. Okay. So not a good place to get halite. So it must be the other direction then. I'm just going to grab this copper while I'm here. It's taunting me. It shall come with me. Is that all of it, though? Now you're seeing my hoarder instinct of, did I get all the metal? There's still more copper in here somewhere. Arg. Yeah, no, hoard it, make a better pickaxe, higher durability. Alright, where's this copper? No, it's not worth it. I need to walk away before I go hunting for all the copper in here. I don't need it. I don't need it. I'm just gonna walk away from that. Oh, for prospecting, try and make it as tight, 3 blocks from each other as points as possible. Yeah, no. That part I know. I was just using that hole because I wasn't super worried about it. I just wanted to see. I'm thinking about fighting this bear over here, though. Where you at, bear? Bear? Where'd you go? What's your ability do I have left on my sword? 35? 35 might be enough to fight a bear. Where'd you go, Mr. Bear? Okay, there's a rabbit. That's a wolf. I don't want to fight the wolf just yet. I'm looking for the bear. Where are you at, Mr. Bear? There you are. Hello, bear. Let me put this in my offhand so I can actually see to fight said bear. Okay. Hello, bear. Come here. I'm right here all up in your business. Come on. What kind of bear are you? You gonna come? You gonna come? This is like the least aggressive bear I've ever seen in this game. What are you? Come on. Come on, I'm right here. So, for anyone watching, this is a great way to choose bears. There you go. That's how you fight a bear. With no armor. Yeah, I love jumping into the water in the middle of winter. It makes me feel good. It helps refresh my character. You know, just remind them, you know, that they're alive and all that. There we go. Alright. I just didn't want to have that bear wandering around. I hear you, Wolf. You'll face that same problem as the bear. You don't bother me there, Wolf. There you go. Alright. Let's see here. Head back towards shore here. Get us a little bit of fire going. Yeah, you know, was it necessarily the most important thing for me to go fight that bear right then? Probably not. But it was one of those things of... I didn't want it where I was going to be prospecting around too much. So I decided to go and eliminate the bear while I was sitting there thinking about it. Get a few sticks, some wood. There we go. Alright. Let's see here. Get some firewood. I hear you, Wolf. I hear you over there. Alright. Get dried off. It's getting late. Well, you have a good one, Redka, and hope to see you again. It's been great having you here. You know, I don't know. It's a good question. I've never paid attention to how long that debuff lasts either, especially if you're next to fire. I mean, it's cleared up now, so it cleared up pretty quick. So I think it might actually go way faster that way. How much durability I got left? I got 25. Well, if I need to take a wolf, I can. I'm trying to use up this brass Falks before I start carrying around my iron one. Oh yeah, no, there's a lot of things to test in various game mechanics. Especially in games like Vintage Story that have a lot of depth to them. Oh, here's a question, Keith. Do you know if there's a way to repair the bear armor that they recently introduced? I know that's one of the things people have been talking about. Like, I haven't tested to see if you can repair it with a sewing kit yet. I know you can't repair it with bear hides or anything like that. Like, normally you repair your hide goods with, like, other hides and things, right? But I've noticed it doesn't seem to work on the bear armor. I should have brought a bed with me. Oh, wait, there's one back in my boat. What am I doing? Let's get my sword out, just in case I encounter a wolf. I've never actually made bear armor. Alright. Come on, wolf. There you go. Oh, yeah, you already had Brig. Yeah, I was already working on Brig at the time they dropped that update as well. But I decided to make some just for the sake of making it. That, and I also had lots of access to bear stuff, so. Alright, your friend gonna come join me? You gonna exterminate the wolf population here? Come on. Who's next? Oh, crap. Well, I just messed that up. How that one didn't hit me. Yeah. Woo! I pressed my luck there. I tried actually using another bear hide, and it didn't work. That was my first thought of, like, maybe another bear hide. Okay. But nope, that wasn't the trick. Alright. Where'd that other wolf go? Alright. Let me go back to my fire now that I've gotten beat up quite severely by the wolves. It was a cured pelt. I ended up just using it to make another piece of the armor instead. But I think that's actually a issue they're aware of. I'm not sure. I just hadn't tested to see if it works with, say, like the whatchamacallit? The sewing kits. Yeah, it's really odd. Let's see here. How is my bear armor looking at? Like, my bear armor's in tatters right now. Alright. I also got to not panic and hit the wrong button to throw out my stuff. Yeah, I'll have to try leather. I haven't tried that one, though. Let's see here. What time is it? Not even midnight yet. I hear that wolf over there. I hadn't come over here planning to exterminate the wolf population. Bear, yes. Wolf, no. Oh, wait. Don't you also use bone or bushmeat for recipe? Try those. Ah, that's a good idea. You don't use bushmeat. You do use bone. At least I don't think you use bushmeat. So let's go into here. Do bear. If we come into the bear armor here, so like, so there's recipe. But let's see here. Let's go into here. Because I'm using a black bear. So, like, I can't use the rawhide, obviously. Bones? Nope. Nope. Sometimes clicking on these things will do it, too. Nope. What rope? Maybe I need to use rope. Might need rope to do it. Because you do use rope to hold it all together, instead of, like, thread or anything, so...
Do you know for some reason you can find more Zyrax on moons?
Yeah, there's a lot of Zyrax bases on the moons and Imperion there, bud.
Why?
Because there's a lot of resources there. The Zyrax like to hoard resources.
So they'll make a base there?
Correct, son. That's right. Knock down this pine tree. Yeah, me. And I threw away so many clothing items because I didn't know how to repair... Yeah, same. Like, I was in the residence archives, and my clothing had gotten, like, just tattered, and I couldn't figure out what I was going to do about it. Until I accidentally remembered that you can just use, you know, a sewing kit to fix them. You know. Especially because you're starting clothing, there's like no recipe for repairing it. Because a lot of the clothing items that you can make, you can just throw in your crafting window with like, you know, linen and fix them, right? But the ones you start with, no such luck. And that's... I was going through just trying to find like articles of clothing I could wear because my character was freezing to death when I was at the Resistance Archives. That I could wear to get extra warmth because my clothes were so tattered. And I found a sewing kit, and I, without thinking, clicked on one of the shirts and fixed it. I was like, oh, right, I can do that. And it was just like, you know, it was just humorous. So I feel your pain. Because I also tossed out some stuff that I couldn't figure out what I was going to do and needed inventory space. I definitely should have brought a bed with me. Yeah, no, it is funny because like most stuff, yeah, you just repair it with linen. You're absolutely right. How many wolves are left out there? I hear at least that one that got away from us. I'm not sure where it is. There it is. I see him. Actually, we're gonna take care of this real quick. There you are. Did I get him? I think he ran off. Yeah, he ran off. Oh well. Thought I had him. Alright. So I need to figure out when I do my prospecting. So we know we had a better halite hit over here, so I'm guessing I need to go probably this direction, maybe. Unless it's under the ocean. I've had weird spawns where like the high density is under the ocean before. Can spawn down under the oceans. That would be very annoying. I do not want that. Oh, there's a trader over there I haven't been to. Consists of me looking like a homeless person who's robbed a phone repair store. Taco Chronicles are so cool. Take a downward column and then veer off to one side and let the water flow in. Ah. Smart, Keith, smart. And I feel you, like, you know, like, look at the stuff I'm wearing currently. Like, I'm wearing, like, this random survivor cloak that I found that is absolutely shredded. This lackey hat that I also found. And a noble shirt that I, you know, found. Followed by some fur coat that I actually made. And then these tattered brown peasant pants, you know. My tanning mine is currently underwater. Oh, okay. Neat. Like, I found this forlorn hope veil, which is kind of cool. Not yet. There we go. One good thing about having all these wolves and bears over here. Plenty of bushmeat. To keep my character topped off on food. While I scout around over here looking for a better source of halite that doesn't involve me having to mine underwater. But, you know, if worst comes to worst, we'll mine underwater. So does it just spawn, like, on the surface under the ocean, or do you have to, like, dig down and look for it? I assume it'd be under the rock layers down there. Get that last of that bushmeat. What time is it? 2 a.m.? Alright. Let's go do some poking around here. Gonna go off this way. It'd still be deep as it normally would be, so it's best for deep ore that spawn down there. Okay. Because I know how it usually isn't crazy deep, if I remember correctly. There's still a lot of wolves out here. Alright, so we need at least 3. Yep. Not with my bow. So there's 3 in that direction. There we go. Perfect. Alright, because what I can do, prospecting, so we'll do this one here in the center. That's not what I want. Density for search. I almost messed that up. It's that one. So 1, 2, 3, so that one should be fine. I'm not normally a no-shovel gang person. I normally do have a shovel with me. Now we got bismuth here. High amounts of bismuth. That's a good spot for bismuth. But I'm gonna guess that halite might be out in the ocean like you were talking about. That is unfortunate. Thing is, I don't really need bismuth. Borax, that's not for. Like, borax, yes. There's my inventory here. Yeah, normally I do carry a shovel, though, when I'm doing this. So. It's also why I always carry, like, a stack of, flint with me, so that I can always whip out a tool like that. Doesn't this have that same shape like a sky iron crater to you? It's got like the exact same shape even on the map here. But there's no sky iron nuggets, nothing on the surface saying that this is sky iron. Yeah, meteoric iron. Some people just call it sky iron. I do that for my just shorthand notes. Oh, so I should check anyways? Well, I'll throw down a shovel and go check anyways. Okay, well, we'll check it real quick. I'll throw down, and just so we're not sitting here doing it the hard way, I will throw down a quick flint shovel real quick. There's wolves over there talking at us, thinking mad I killed their packmates. Yep, I'm going to. I was just clearing out some more of this sand. Well, there's Sivite here. Now, will it be under the Sivite? Yep, there it is. Meteoric iron, you're right. It's right there. So my instincts were right. That is a sky. That is a meteoric iron. Oh god. Oh god. Wolf. 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 He's come for revenge. Oh, that cheeky devil. Space rock plus an angry army of wolves that have now run off. How many wolves are over here? Good lord. Alright. I'm gonna go prospect over here a little bit, see if I get any luck here. Hopefully there'll be some more highlight over here. Yeah, man, it just ambushed me down in my little hole. You see running around over there. They're chasing a rabbit now. I'll stay over there. Oh, did the rabbit get away from you, Wolf? Hmm? No, you deserve it. After jumping me in my mine hole. Also, has a chance to spawn diamonds. Oh, good to know. Yeah, I've seen this fight before. I've never actually mined any of it, though. I know it's super rare that it spawns diamonds, though, right? Alright, let's see here. So we'll do, like, the first one here. Full stack of diamonds. I can't sell them fast enough. Wow. We'll do it right there, just to be sure. I didn't take that one. Try that one. There you go. Alright, so 1, 2, 3. Let's go with that one then. Considerite, bismuth. Native. Yeah, alright, so yeah, the highlight's minuscule over here. Unfortunate. Minuscule. Minuscule. It was minuscule. No, it was very poor up here. Also, speaking of gems, right? They have potential, which means gem cutting is possible. Yeah, they could. I would like to see them add like gem cutting. That'd be kind of cool. Or spatially, like making like ornamental things, like you can make jewelry or something. Because they have jewelry in the game already. Yeah, that'd be super cool. Be a great, like, RP thing. Was there a cave over here? No, it's just a little outcropping. Yeah, that's actually one of the things I like about some of the servers I've seen, like, is just the crazy RP stuff and the marketing things that people do, like having little markets. Alright, there's copper here. I'll add that to my map. Not that I need it, but you know. In the event that I ever just want to come mine some surface copper for some reason. Okay. Oh yeah, it'd be great. I'd totally do it. I'd RP the heck out of that. Alright, let's get back in the boat. Because I have actually seen some mods that do stuff with some, like, crime and punishment type ideas for servers. Like the Karma mod. So you could do some interesting things with that potentially. Hit a chunk of ice. Okay, so that's where we found the very poor reading.
Daddy,
Yes, son.
what more do I need for you?
For fuel, you need like for regular fuel, not warp fuel. You need promethium.
Yeah, regular fuel.
And you need promethium for that, bud.
For me? Yeah.
Yep, promethium. Better mark my boat before I forget that my boat's like right here.
Promethea or Prometheus?
Promethium. So. Yeah, no, hypothermia is already in the game, but hyperthermia would be interesting. The heat to be overheated, because I know they've added like the whole like desert biome. I remember they were talking about that. Oh, let's see. Like PRO, Promethium, bud. Alright, let's see here. Take a quick reading over here.
Is it just raw
Andesite, bauxite.
Promethea?
Well, you use the raw Promethium to make it, but...
How do you make... What's the fuel? Okay.
I don't think that's actually...
I have the Promethea, but I can't fill it up. Can't feel the fuel.
Maybe alright, bud.
How do I make
You
it?
need to make it into a fuel cell, bud.
Uh,
Okay, up. Looks like the halite's gone up here. Yes, it's gone up significantly here. With decent business. Okay. Looks like we want to go this direction looking for halite.
so you said I need fuel of ingot?
Fuel cell, bud.
Fuels.
This is like a mountain. Yeah, I don't have a good way up there. You know, I could always just do the crazy thing and just mine in here and see if I get lucky. You want like a hydrogen fuel cell, bud?
Hydrogen fuels. Let me see if hydrogen.
Yeah, it could be interesting having rooms like that. You know, where you can go and sit down, cool off, or go and warm up like they currently do. You know, give you no idea to build something like a sauna, maybe.
I've seen a fuse.
What is this? What have I found here? Oh, I found bismuth. Goodness. Not what I was looking for, but I'll take it. All right.
You're looking for what?
Uh,
You found a what?
I found bismuth.
I'm going to search in fuel.
Yep.
Do I need a fuel pack or a large fuel pack?
Either one. Either one will work. But
I'm gonna get the large fuel.
all right, I need to go empty some of my inventory out. Andesite, my beloved, my favorite rock to make castles of. It is a great rock for making castles. Like that's what I've been using to build like all the cobblestone for my current project.
Now, how do I? Now what do I need oxygen? I think I know what I need for oxygen.
Yeah, it's just called oxygen tank there, bud. Or oxygen. Alright, let's see here. Any of these empty? That's got stuff in it. Yeah, this will be fine. That in there. That in there. Better hide in there for now. That in there. And in there. Come on, go in there. Not for my help. That there. There we go. Alright. Okay. Because Halite tends to spawn...
Is it a O2 tank?
Yeah, O2 tank, bud. Because Halite, I forget what layer it spawns in, right? It's not in... Because it's not in, like, the... It is in, like, the conglomerate. So it's going to be up above the bismuth, right? Because bismuth doesn't host anything, right? Yeah. Or bauxite, sorry. Good lord. And it can't spawn in this.
I need something to fill up the oxygen.
What are you going on about there, bud?
I don't need oxygen tank to fill the oxygen.
You don't need an oxygen tank to fill the oxygen. What? Okay, so what are you trying to do then?
I'm in F1 on the far end, which is control panel. Now I'm trying to press fill all on the oxygen. It's not working.
You have an oxygen tank in the ship?
Really?
Probably.
I don't need an oxygen.
No. So what I'm hearing is you need to learn more about playing Imperion Galactic Survival.
No, I don't know. It's just it's not working, so I need something else.
Alright, I gotta go save my kid from Imperion again real quick, guys. Give me just a second. Very greatly in hype. Unfortunately, they just made it a pain. Yeah.
Oh, hydrogen bomb. Maybe that's...
Hydrogen is definitely not oxygen, but... Can I not? Oh, I was trying to throw the rock. I'm sitting here going, why will it not let me put this in there? There we go. My first piece of bismuth, and it's rich, and I probably will never use it for anything. But I'll be right back, folks. I'm going to go save my kid from Imperion. Give me a second.
Okay, so we got a large O2 tank, and now F1.
Not the thing you need.
But you said a O2 tank.
Go back. Press each second oxygen. No X.
I know.
That's what you need. Alright. There we go. Alright. I have saved the kiddo from Imperion. Alright. Yeah, no, it's a real pain. So actually one of the mods I installed on the server that my son and I are playing on, well, the, not server really, just the shared world, is a mod that lets you make salt out of salt water. Which I think is mildly reasonable, because it's not like you get a ton. Oh yeah, there's a mod that lets you make diamond tools. There's also a mod that adds enchanting, like from Minecraft, too. Okay. Yeah. Missed. But yeah, there's all kinds of things that add in some of the stuff from Minecraft. Which makes sense considering this game originally was a set of Minecraft mods, originally. Before the people making those mods decided that Minecraft engine couldn't do everything they wanted to do. Yes, it does. It does make sense. You know, which is why I was like, you know what? That's a completely reasonable mod, and I think should be maybe in the base game, just because hunting for salt domes is such a pain. All that. Here I am, trying to act like some sort of demented billy goat, trying to climb up this mountain here. Just see if I can find a place to take another reading. Yeah, no, thank goodness we see it in prospecting. We got quartz around here. Because I think that it didn't used to show up in prospecting, right? Alright, come on. Make a stairway up out of this dirt. Oh, yeah, it was just another rock type. Ugh, that would be awful. I'm glad it shows up in prospecting. I would probably never bother looking for it if it didn't show up in prospecting. I think which direction is going to be my best bet to go here, because we had a fairly decent reading here compared. So definitely he's like south somewhere. Oof, that's rough. See, that makes me think of the game Eco. So, if you've ever played Eco, it's another one of these square block voxel based games. But the idea is, you know, oh, we found larch trees. But the idea is being that basically you're on a planet and you're trying to get enough resources to advance into, you know, your sciences and build a laser to stop a giant meteor that's going to destroy the planet. It's kind of a silly concept, but, you know, it's entertaining. And in that game, prospecting isn't really a thing, but you have to find, like, copper and iron and all that stuff. And the way you find copper is you basically strip mine deserts until you find a copper vein. And since part of the whole thing of Eco is you're trying not to destroy the planet with pollution, you can understand where that becomes a kind of a counterintuitive idea in the game. I've gotten up here. I'm not really sure what my best way down is going to be. Oh yeah, the game where the server runs without players and then everyone logs in and the world's been destroyed. Yes, that's the game. That is Eco. When I ran it, I used to set it up so that if people weren't on, the server would stop because of that nonsense. I've made a mistake here. This is not a good place to be. Yeah, no, because that very nonsense quickly kills interest in a game for people. Like, that can be sort of a problem with Vintage Story in the sense of, like, food spoilage and stuff. But a lot of servers have ways around it. And there's lots of ways to kind of extend shelf life of foods. Yeah, I know, it's not the default setting. It's crazy. The fact that you have to actually go in and make that change. Because I used to play... So, the same guy who got me into Vintage Story is the same guy who taught me about Eco. Because his gaming community was doing an Eco server as well. Hi, bismuth, very poor copper, and we've lost the halite. Alright, so the halite is not in this direction. There's silver here, though. Interesting. We're starting to pick up silver. It's also nice to know that I'm not the only person who used to play Eco. So, you know. Get that out of my hands to stop burning so many calories. And it's one of those games that, like, I keep getting an itch to get back into it, but like then I keep remembering all the stuff that wasn't great, you know. Because I liked the gameplay, I liked the concept, but unless you've got a dedicated community to like play it with, it's not really great. Let's see here. I'm going to try and find my way down here. With my luck, I'm going to be wandering along and there'll be some exposed halite somewhere around here. If I'm lucky. If only I were ever so lucky. I've seen that happen for other people, though. Alright. We will check right here, because why not? You played it all at once? Yeah, I can get that. It had a very interesting, like, road building system, because one of the things that you would do in that game is build, like, various types of vehicles, like, you know, trucks and stuff for hauling things around. You know, all of that was very interesting. And so you'd have to build these extensive road networks. And so, like, one of the... Oops, the highlights falling back off here. And so one of the servers that I had that was kind of a long-running server with a friend of mine, we ended up building a road, like, all the way around the entire planet and stuff. It was crazy. Big. Just so we could drive our truck to and from our copper mine and stuff. You're falling down a long way. Make sure to touch the block wall on the way back down. Oh, okay. Good to know. I've actually found a weird sort of mechanic. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be this way. Where if I jump just right after a long fall, sometimes it seems like I don't take any fall damage. You ever notice that? Alright. Let's see here. I'm going to dig some of this out. Take another reading over here real quick. Let's see here. So if I do like up here. Yeah, I did it by accident the other day, and then managed to replicate it a second time. So we're going back up in this direction. Alright, so we had a decent reading up here. Going back up here, so I'm going to guess it's over in this area. Alright, let's see here. Oh, there's that trader I found. I saw her earlier. Never visited. What kind of trader is this? He's got a barrel. He's got a resonator. I've never talked to this trader before. What kind of trader are you? It's a luxury goods trader. What's your name? Just because I like it's rope. You want anything interesting? You want basically the same stuff the other guy wanted. Ooh, I have a parrot back at home. And you'll sell me an ornate silver arrow. Ah, yes. Yes. Oh, you don't think it's an intentional mechanic. Okay, I understand. I got you now. I understand. You know, the fact that that guy's selling an ornate silver arrow just boggles the mind. I wouldn't waste silver doing that. Alright, we're gonna come over here and find... Oh, that's a wolf right there. I'm not ready for. Is he chasing? Does not appear to be chasing. Okay. Lots of mushrooms over here. No, the highest percent we've had was over here, and it was at 11.02. And so I'm kind of working my way back up. So we were here, and it was back down to 3.8, and up here, it was 3.9. So I'm guessing it's going to be somewhere in this area, if I had to guess. I'm going to take a reading over here and see what it looks like. Because we had terrible readings over here. It was definitely falling off over in this direction. So I'm gonna do a reading over here. Just kind of see if we can't triangulate a little bit. Now, you know, 11% is still not a terrible reading. Like, that'd be worth, like, strip mining that area for. Yeah, it is a bit low, though. But if you're desperate, you could strip mine it and probably find some. Alright, let's see here. We got 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 23. You're at 23%. That's not too bad. This way a little bit more. There we go. Back in here. And we'll do... So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll do that one. Wow, that's impressive. That doesn't count. Nope. Come on. There we go. We're up to 6.9, or 6.29. Alright. So no, not this direction. So while it is higher, it is definitely higher over here. Okay. So let's... Might need to do another reading, like, right over here somewhere. Let's head back that way, then.
Dad, what you looking for?
I'm looking for salt, bud, which is a rock in this game called halite.
Don't you find that in the ocean?
Well, yes, there is salt in the ocean. You can't normally get it out of the ocean in the vanilla vintage story, bud.
Oh, I thought you just get a bucket and scoop up some water from the ocean, and then it would be salty ocean water.
You're not wrong. It would be salty ocean water, bud. I've heard the dinosaur store mods are a lot of fun. I know Hardware's got a series where he did with a bunch of them. But they haven't been updated to the newest version yet. They haven't been updated to 1.21 yet, or whatever. And there's been some concerns about compatibility issues. Alright, we're just going to do a reading over here.
But still, I thought you harvest salt out of ocean water.
Well, you can harvest salt out of ocean water in the real world, bud.
Oh.
But in Vintage Story, you need a mod to do that, man.
Now you get salt.
Oh, normally you find a rock called halite and mine it. You find it in, like, deserts and stuff.
Are you in the desert?
Kind of. I'm on the edge of a desert. Alright. Is this one going to be far enough? Nope. That one? Yes. Okay, so we've actually gone up. Yeah, there's only rock salt, not sea salt, alas. That's why when I play modded, I have a mod that adds that. So it is going up in this direction. It's got to be out under this body of water, then. Yep. Alright.
Harvest salt out the water. Well, at least not in the dry desert.
And I'm running out of food, so I'm going to head back to base. for now.
How long are you?
I've been away from the base for a few days in the game now.
How far?
Oh, no, not far at all, but there you go. I like the fact they let us add
Guess
a
what?
lantern to our boat. That was nice. Hey,
Guess,
son. What's up, bud?
in 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 the game, I actually warped to an alien planet because there's a common animal called the alien scorpion.
Oh yeah, bud. That's one of the animals you can find in the game.
But the it depends on where what part of the planet and what planet it is what common animal.
I think we'll go back home and check on the farm animals one more time, and then I'm probably going to call the stream there, folks, pretty soon here, once we get back to base and check on a few things. Because it's getting around dinner time here at my house, and, well, I'm pretty sure my family wants to eat dinner together, so.
And play Munchkin.
And my son wants to play Munchkin.
And that's a knockoff D&D.
It's not a knockoff D&D, son. It's a game that makes fun of D&D.
I thought there wasn't a difference.
Well, there's a difference. It's a big difference between Munchkin and D&D, man.
So, like, if it's making fun of and if it's knockoff.
No. Making fun of and finding humor in something is not a knockoff. That's like a parody. A knockoff is like something that is cheaply made to imitate something else.
Oh, like knockoff Minecraft? That I have on my tablet, but I've never played it before because it's so glitchy. You can't even place a block down.
Yeah. Anyways, but I gotta finish talking to chat here real quick, man.
Yes, sir.
Alright. Next Vintage Story stream will probably be, next weekend. I normally do Saturdays and Sundays. Help if I turn that off there. Because I've had to miss the past weekend, well, every other weekend basically recently because of various real life things, and I get off on the wrong side of the boat. So I normally do each Saturday and Sunday where I'm located around this time. Is usually my target. I didn't pick up that horsetail.
Or if we have a Monday off, you can do Monday.
And sometimes Kiddo will join me and we'll do a stream in the afternoons.
Yes.
But I usually try to post on my channel ahead of time so people can know when that's going to happen. You don't have a channel currently, bud.
Oh, man.
I mean...
I want to do streaming on Imperial Galactic Survival.
You want to stream Imperial Galactic Survival? Well, we could work on that together there, bud. Yeah, I
wanted to be able to do it on my own.
On your own? Well, I can't let you stream on your own, man.
Oh,
YouTube rules.
You can only be 18 to
Yep.
stream by yourself.
Yeah, you have to be 18 or older, bud. And you have a great time as well. And it's great having you all here, joining me for my stream.
And make sure to like and subscribe.
There's my kid copying me, telling people to like and subscribe. I mean, I appreciate if people subscribe and like my videos, but I'm not
And
gonna
make sure to comment down what part
hound you all
like
about
the
it.
most.
But now there will be another episode of my Vanilla Vintage Story dropping. I think it's tomorrow or Tuesday, one of the two. It's technically before this one. He subscribed, son. I hope you enjoy. I appreciate that. There you go. Which is the initial build. So if people want to see the process I used to lay out the bottom part of the greenhouse, that's going to be in that video. But for those of you who were here for the stream, obviously, you know what the final product is. So this is a little bit of a spoiler for the folks who are just following me on the YouTube playlist, but it's all right. Because really, I'm doing this to try and just finish killing time in winter, which we're finally in March, so I'd call that spring here in game. So that Yeah, the ice is starting to melt. Because I didn't want to travel too much in winter. But I think in the next episode, we'll probably go back over there to the Treasure Hunter Trader and turn in our quest item from the Residence Archives and start working on the next step of the storyline. I think that'll be what we do in the next episode. Alright. And we are finally back at home. Alright, I was gonna check on the chickens. And the pigs. See if they got up to any nonsense while I was gone. Pigs, y'all in here behaving? Oh, our sow is pregnant. So pigs doing what they're supposed to do. Good pigs. Alright, chickens, did you hatch your eggs? Nope. 3 more days. Alright, chickens. Y'all behave. Well, and here comes the heavy temporal storm. Just to end the episode on a high note here. Gotta love those heavy temporal storms. I wish they'd quit happening at night, though, because you can't really enjoy the ambience at night when the temporal storm hits. Alright. Well, I'm gonna put away this salt. So I did find some salt in the Residence Archives. So, all the salt I've ever found in Vintage Story, right here. All 12 units of it. There we go. That's all the salt I've ever found in any of my playthroughs. So, the hunt for salt will have to continue later. Thank you all for joining. I hope you all enjoyed the stream.
And see you.
Yep, and we'll see you next time. So, y'all have a great one.